That's what they say about us. Never boring. You never know what you're going to get on a 4-hour program of Brace and Dunne. Alongside Sean Brace, I'm Ray Dunne on this Throw the Ball Up Thursday, baby. We're getting into some Sixers conversation. We'll get into Jesus Luzardo, who I guess it just has to be a day in which I'm not praising Luzardo, and he'll go out and look like the Luzardo he's been for most of this season. Another great start for him. Jalen Hurts talked about training camp. You know, a lot of interceptions, Sean Brace. Club Hurts will get a chance to react to what Jalen Hurts had to say and what Chris Long had to say about Jalen Hurts. We'll start out with the 76ers today. Good morning to you, Sean Brace. How are you?
What up? Let's go. Inching closer towards college football kicking off. And, man, we got an awesome card on Saturday. Kicks off bright and early. Takes us all the way to 10 o'clock with Hawaii. And you got to pronounce Hawaii right, or else John will get mad at you. Hawaii and Stanford. Ask him to say Hawaii, John. You know, if you ask.
Is he going to say it the way Connor said Fogo de Chao yesterday?
Yeah, it's very similar.
Listen, the copy said what the copy said back in the day.
Hawaii and Stanford at like 10 o'clock. So I'm pumped, man. We got football here. Boys
you got
of
me
fall.
at noon on Saturday for UNC TCU from Dublin. Tap me in for that.
NC State and Virginia is a great game. Virginia was awesome last year. NC State won a bunch of games. That's in the afternoon. I think that's a 3 o'clock kick.
All right, you might be able to get me rolling in from the Dublin game.
There's expectations with USC, Lincoln Riley, pressure on. That game's at 2 o'clock. Don't care who they're playing. But there's reasons to be happy because football season is here.
And there's reasons for us to talk to Yogi Roth coming up at 1 o'clock today. NBC Sports college football analyst and good friend of one Sean Mannion.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Good friend of the program, and Yogi knows ball. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, we'll get our football fix in throughout the show today. But Bob Myers spoke. He was on the Cousins podcast, which if you're like, which podcast is that?
That's a good one.
When you said it, Cousins podcast, I was like, oh, God, did I really need to hear from DeMarcus anymore? I was like, we seriously gave DeMarcus Cousins more of a platform than he already has, because I think he's doing FanDuel TV.
It's not Kirk Cousins and Boogie Cousins doing
that would make for a good show. Honestly, I'd like to see Kirk Cousins. If they're going to give DeMarcus Cousins a podcast, it should be him and Kirk Cousins, and we should make that work. But the Cousins podcast with Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady.
I like this podcast.
It's a good podcast.
I've watched a couple episodes. Now T-Mac came out with some interesting information, remember, about...
Oh, yeah, the Jaylen Brown, Joel Embiid, have they spoken? Are they boys?
As always, you got to take these things with a grain of salt. However,
he's boys with Jaylen Brown.
You know darn well what you're getting from the, just the fact that those two resumes put together.
Yeah.
Vince was unbelievable, played for 37 years. T-Mac, his career got cut a little bit, I wouldn't even say a little bit short, but was fantastic. So I pay attention to the Cousins podcast. I swear.
When you're talking about resumes, Sean Brace.
I mean, again, like we have a 4-time NBA champion here.
They had the 4-time NBA champion on the pod. Bob Myers was talking about the offseason that the 76ers had. Mike Gansey obviously had himself a summer. Bob Myers right there with him as the president of sports for Harris Blitzer Sports Entertainment. He talked about LeBron James getting him to Philadelphia and what he believes was the path LeBron James chose. Take a listen.
If you ever questioned the motivations of LeBron, he chose the hardest path, I think. Now you might say best chance to win. He goes back to Cleveland. He's made man. Like he's
Hold on, Bob. Hold up. What you mean the hardest path to what?
Okay, sorry. He chose the one that was there's only one reason. It's to win. It wasn't because I played there before, I grew up there, I want to play with my friend. It was because I want to win. So I'm going to go where I want to go. It gives me the best chance to win. Does that make sense?
100%. Yeah, but is that the hardest?
I think he could. If you're just talking about winning, I think the
hardest road is staying where he was.
For LeBron James, we could debate whether or not it's the most difficult path for him. It's the one that can bring the most scrutiny. He goes back to Cleveland, like Bob Myers said. Oh, it's great to have the chosen one. Our chosen son is back in Ohio. He's finishing out his career with the Cavaliers. Goes to Miami. He's already won there. If it doesn't work out for him, it's not nearly as catastrophic. Doesn't work out for him here. We're going to have a lot of thoughts for a long time about the LeBron James era. And people across the NBA will, because ultimately he's chosen the best roster to win, and if he doesn't win, it's LeBron James not winning. You can fill in the headlines, the storylines, and all the talking heads discussion about him when that doesn't happen. It got me thinking about who is going down the hardest path in the Sixers organization this year. Because if LeBron chose the hardest path for him to win, I don't think of anyone in this organization he's under the most pressure going into this season. I really don't. He comes to Philadelphia, yeah. They've already begun. We heard Barkley talk about it. We heard Stephen A. talk about it. You want to go with the national people that don't think LeBron's the GOAT, or local people that don't think LeBron's the GOAT, maybe sitting over here. They're moving the goalposts already. Not you specifically, Sean Brace, but Charles Barkley's like, yeah, if he wins back-to-back titles in Philadelphia, that'll make him the GOAT. Thing is, if you don't have him as your greatest of all time at this point, I don't think there's a lot of people that are changing their minds with 42-year-old LeBron James, no matter how this season goes. So I think there's plenty of scrutiny to be had if he doesn't win. I don't think he's changing much of his legacy if he does win in the grand picture of things. If you think he's the GOAT now, you're probably going to think he's the GOAT later. On this Sixers roster and in this Sixers organization, who has the most difficult path in front of them? Who has the most scrutiny to be had from this season? Who is under the most pressure given the setup they currently have with this team and this roster? In your eyes, Sean Brace.
I tried to sell Nick Nurse from the coaching perspective to you, but as we are talking right now, I want to come back to the big man. My mind goes towards Joel Embiid because this is an ultimate opportunity. This is the best opportunity. This is the best starting five that Joel Embiid has ever had. The issue is, and that's the big deal when you start to talk about LeBron and Joel Embiid joining these guys, we just know where they're at this point in time of their career. Like, I'm not going to sit here and try to sell you on Joel Embiid revolutionizing his past with injuries, and all of a sudden he's going to be 65 games plus the playoffs and yada, yada, yada. So I don't know the plan of attack when it comes to Joel Embiid, when he's going to play, when he's not going to play, so on and so forth. I think you have to be smart with that. But right here, right now, when you phrase that question to me, no doubt in my mind it comes back to Joel Embiid because of everything that's been said about him, true or untrue, and we have had a front row seat to the big man night in, night out. So we are eat, sleep, and drinking with this guy. It comes back to Joel Embiid for me as far as that question is concerned. Easily, JoJo.
And you're easily correct about this.
Nice.
The upside of this team is fully dependent on what Joel Embiid they get. They are not winning an NBA Finals if they don't get the version of Joel Embiid that, I'm not telling you he's average 30, but if he is not the most skilled big man in the NBA that we've seen him, they're not going to go where they need to go. You look at this Eastern Conference, what Karl Anthony Towns is for the Knicks. What did the Celtics do this year in the offseason? After they told you Joel Embiid changed that series, they went out and spent money. Now, he's a better player than Mitchell Robinson, but you look at the way the Knicks attacked the 76ers in that series, they wanted to get Embiid isolated, and it was the reason why Bob Myers, after the season, Mike Gansey after the season, talked about him being better defensively, get him in better shape. Joel Embiid at his peak, you might never see again. Joel Embiid at his peak to help these other four guys out on that roster is what gets you from being the team that had all the expectations preseason and didn't live up to them to the one that we're talking about getting out of the second round, winning an Eastern Conference Finals, going to an NBA Finals, playing for a championship. The biggest pressure is on the big man to be who he needs to be for this team. You have seen in this offseason this organization take a drastic shift. They've brought in two champions, two guys that have been Finals MVP, one guy that has been an MVP, one guy who's arguably the GOAT. Everything's pushing in one direction, and it seems like, from all accounts, Joel Embiid looking nice and slim. I'm seeing more gym videos of Joel Embiid. It seems like he's pushing in that direction with them, too. Mm-hmm. But when you talk about the hardest path, the most pressure, LeBron James is LeBron James. He's going to face scrutiny regardless. Joel Embiid's going to face scrutiny regardless as well. He's an athlete in Philadelphia who's been here a while and hasn't won a championship. That's just a part of the gig. But if there's one guy that is going to be under the most pressure for this team to get where they need to go, is Joel Embiid.
Yep.
Bar none to me.
And the big difference is the championship. That's what it is. When you talk about LeBron with the scrutiny and Joel Embiid with the scrutiny, yeah, you're not saying anything nobody can agree with. They're always going to get that. But you can't say anything negative about Brown because he's got multiple rings, hardware. We talk about Bob Myers pre-show, and well, his words carry weight. A lot of the reason why.
And again, like, we have four-time NBA champion.
Four-time NBA champion, exactly. I look at Joel Embiid, and Brett Brown was discussing this as well in that article.
It's his best shot, and it could be his last shot.
And he wants to be a champion. And if he becomes a champion and he's able to finally get there, think about how many people have to shut up, finally shut up. I don't care how he was able to do it. Ultimately, you got to get there, of course, and then you got to have the best 2 months of the season. And it's easier said than done. I don't care what the roster looks like. Just remember the difference that they don't win that series against the Boston Celtics without Joel Embiid. 26, 33, 19, 34. Those were points scored, all above 34 minutes in all 4 of those games. They don't beat the Boston Celtics without Joel Embiid.
And they don't get where they want to go this season without the best version of what Joel Embiid is now. Again, I'm not telling you he's going to be MVP Joel Embiid from 22 to 23. I'm not telling you he's going to be off to the start that he was 23 and 24. But I'm curious because Bob Myers says the hardest path for LeBron James. It's got me thinking about who has the hardest path in front of them right now with this 76ers organization. Who faces the most pressure given the current setup? We are beyond the offseason talk. They have one open roster spot. If you want to campaign for that 15th roster spot, go ahead. I'm not leading the show with it today. But I'm curious for you. Connor gave me a look. Connor's got something on this on the other side. He is going to tell me that it's not that important for Joel. I'm very intrigued to see where he goes with this on the other side of the break. He gave me a look like, oh, yeah, no way. It's Joel Embiid under the most pressure. We'll dive into that coming up next. Plus, Bob Myers said on this podcast he has one 76er this offseason to lead. The guy he says might be not the one you anticipate. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunne. This is Brace and Dunne, 97.5.
App.
Welcome back in. Brace and Dunne here on 97.5 The Fanatic alongside Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunne. Connor Thomas, producer of the program. We do Middays program here on The Fanatic. Today, I ask you the question, who's under the most pressure in the Sixers organization coming up this season? Because Bob Myers calls it the hardest path for LeBron James. And I understand from a national perspective, the scrutiny will be there. Oh, we joined another loaded team. At this point, I would venture to say those that don't believe he's the GOAT right now, even if he were to win a championship in Philadelphia, will still bend over backwards to tell you he is not the GOAT come 2 years from now or whenever his time in Philadelphia is over. I know Rich Paul is trying to sell us on a full presidential term for LeBron James in Philadelphia. I don't know if we get the 4 years out of him, but whenever it's done for him in Philadelphia, even if he were to win a title, I'm sure those that don't believe LeBron's the GOAT would still not believe that he's the GOAT. So I'm not necessarily concerned about their national scrutiny. Locally, sure, people will be upset if he doesn't win it. Ultimately, his legacy in Philadelphia won't be his legacy as an NBA player.
Yeah.
So I don't believe it's him that's under the most pressure. I think, and you agreed with me, it's Joel Embiid. Connor Thomas in that studio, I could see for the first 10 minutes of the show squirming, foaming at the mouth a little bit. He was ready to go with why Joel Embiid's not the Sixer under the most pressure. Why is that not the case?
I just don't know how you could possibly look at anybody not named LeBron James and say they're under the most pressure on this team. Like, do you remember what it was like breaking that news? Do you remember what the reaction in the city was the day that he decided to come to Philadelphia and choose here over Cleveland and Miami? This dude is viewed at already. We haven't even seen him put a jersey on that isn't Photoshop. And he is the quote-unquote savior of this franchise right now. Like, the pressure is on him. We're different because of him. I think the only other person you could make an argument for is Jaylen Brown. As far as Embiid is concerned, I think Joel Embiid is a footnote on this whole operation. Now, that's not in the ability that he has on the floor. I think that's in the view of the fan base. We all saw Toy Story, right? We're all in that age
I'm trying to see
range.
Toy Story 5, man. I'm trying to go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure
Yeah,
it's
the
going to be
movie's
good.
a lot.
But the
I am.
OG, like Buzz Lightyear shows up, and Andy doesn't want to play with Woody anymore because he's the old toy, right? LeBron is the new thing.
All
Jaylen
right.
Brown is the new thing.
Let's keep with that. Do you have Toy Story without Woody?
No, but was Woody
It's a good bounce back.
the Toy Story thing? Don't you Pixar me right now, Ray? Don't you Pixar me.
I'm letting you finish your point. I'm letting you finish your point here.
My point is this: like, I don't think a lot of the fan base, and maybe I'm wrong on this, looks at Joel Embiid as like this guy for the franchise anymore, right or wrong. And
Okay, that's the next question there. Should they?
No, I don't think so. I think LeBron.
Are you getting where you want to go without Joel Embiid?
I think you can.
I don't think you can at all.
Yeah, okay. Is there a better
to
chance?
win a championship?
Yes. Is there a better chance to win a championship if, let's just say, Thanos snap, they're off the face of the earth, Joel Embiid ceases to exist, or LeBron James ceases to exist? Because I think it's LeBron and it's not close.
I think LeBron's here because he sees the upside of this roster, and that includes Joel Embiid.
But he also is the upside of this roster. Like, sure, they have upside when you add LeBron.
What were you saying before they made the signing of LeBron James about
They-
this team in the East?
They have a chance to go to the conference finals.
Okay.
They do. With the Jaylen Brown thing, they had a
Correct.
chance.
I agree with that.
Now I'm saying you better win the finals. It is finals or bust. I am in that camp. And that is because number 23. It's not because number 7. It's not because number 21.
It's because of all these guys. It's because of the starting five. LeBron got here and it raised the expectation, sure. But if you do this in reverse order, where LeBron James is here and they add Joel Embiid, you're saying, okay, now this is the team that goes and wins the finals.
No, you're not. You're absolutely not. In fact, you can argue completely against that forever because Joel Embiid is not healthy enough to help a team get there, and he has not been throughout his career.
Okay, this starting five with Dean Wade as the center instead, with Huck Porty as the center instead, with Bona with the center instead.
Yeah, but that's not what the argument is. Here's the thing that you got to account for. We're living in a different world here, boys. You got to open your mind. In the Joel Embiid Sixers world, yes, he's very important. In the LeBron James, Jaylen Brown Sixers world, you know what happens if Joel Embiid doesn't step up? Buyout market. You get somebody that wants to come here and chase a ring. Trade deadline. You really only need one thing, and that might be help at the big man position because you got wings coming out your rear with what they did with the bench. Like, if Joel Embiid doesn't step up, there are other options. And I'm not saying that to demean him or anything. I'm just saying that without LeBron James, the car doesn't run. He's the engine. And the most pressure falls on his shoulders.
I want to believe in the picture that Connor is painting. I just know that that's not the LeBron James that we're getting. LeBron still has it. He's still got that gear. Don't ask me, or you don't even have to ask me to go into on that because we saw point blank here in December when he put the Lakers on his back, scored whatever it was in the fourth quarter, 12 straight, 20-plus, went off, hit the game winner. Like, this dude still has it, plays at a high level. I'm not here to doubt LeBron James. The thing that I would say is that if you get Joel Embiid, and the issue that I'm really coming over to Connor's side on this is the Joel Embiid health. It's just like I'm not trying to paint the picture of Joel Embiid being more of the 60 games. I just still am locked into the fact that this is a guy that played 38 games last year.
Yeah.
And I still believe that's probably going to be in the cards this upcoming season, unfortunately. It's just the reality of where we're at. But I think you could still get to a championship without LeBron James and Joel Embiid healthy in the playoffs, led by Jaylen Brown. And, boys, we haven't even mentioned Tyrese Maxey. Like, that's where I'm at more than anything these days. I'm starting to think about this Sixer season. Tyrese Maxey, I think, is going to take such a huge leap. And that's crazy to say because think about the leap that he had coming into the season. Nobody said that he was going to be an all-pro. Not one person. Not even Tyrese Maxey's mom and dad, who are front and center at half court every game, said, our son is going to be an all-pro this year. Nobody said it, and he did. So I'm scared to put the glass on Tyrese Maxey, but I'm telling you right now, I think we're not even giving him enough attention. And that's obvious because when you sign Finals MVP, when you sign the second best player of all time in LeBron James, and you got Joel Embiid, of course people are going to take a back seat.
Hey, he's going to take a back seat, but him off ball with LeBron as the primary playmaker for him? Woo! Yeah, that sounds like a beautiful season for Tyrese Maxey. Getting LeBron James allowed him to go off ball, which is where he's going to be best. That's the thing I'm maybe most excited for in terms of if we're talking actually watching them out on the floor, like what you can unlock from Tyrese Maxey when he's not worried about getting everybody theirs and he can just worry about getting his. I'm fired up about that. But to go back where we're at in this one, I'm curious. Maybe we put up a poll on the middays. More pressure this season for the 76ers, Joel Embiid or LeBron James? I understand what you're saying about LeBron James being here, and he's LeBron James. His legacy's set. Joel Embiid right now is facing the world of being the MVP that never got out of the second round. That's the world he's facing this year. And he doesn't have many more bites at the apple at this. LeBron James, if he called it a career instead of coming to Philadelphia, he gets the swan song of all swan songs, and he would never have done that because he wanted to get the retirement tour. Let's all be honest with ourselves. He wants one more shot at it. For Joel Embiid, this represents his best chance to win a championship, his best chance, heck, to get out of the second round. And he needs to be at his best for this team to get where they want to go.
I get what you're saying. You also have to understand the scope of the people in Philadelphia who are fans of this Sixers team. We are not a town that really looks national as much as some other places because we're so passionate about our own teams. We have the Philadelphia bubble. And the world that Sixers fans have been living in is not, oh, look what LeBron has accomplished all throughout in his career. Like, we know we're not watching him every night on the Lakers or every night on the Cavs or the Heat. Like, we have a team that has not gone to the conference finals in 25 years.
Heard that.
So you're looking at the guy, like the realistic expectation for Joel Embiid this year is how healthy can he be? How can he supplement this team? I think that is how people view him now. I think he can exceed that greatly with his potential. But the LeBron James realistic expectation is you win us a championship. You. Not Tyrese Maxey, not VJ Edgecombe, not Dean Wade. LeBron James is here. We don't have a drop of this parody song for Joel Embiid. We have the drop. What's his name?
And that's
Come on, Ray.
perfectly fine. You can have your songs, you can have your shiny new toy, and you can be distracted by the shiny object in front of you. I'm looking at the reality of winning basketball games and winning a championship. When you look at the teams in front of you, the teams you have to get by, you said it yesterday about the team that's being disrespected right now, the reigning champions of the New York Knicks. Karl-Anthony Towns exists. That's a part of that team. Part of what they were able to do to you was they were going to get Embiid in isolation. Is Dean Wade going to be the Karl-Anthony Towns stopper? Is LeBron James going to be the Karl-Anthony? Like, we need Joel Embiid to be one of the best big men in the NBA if you want this starting five to go. That graphic pops of the starting five for the 76ers because it has a former MVP sitting there right next to LeBron, right next to a finals MVP, and then an exciting young backcourt.
I'm not saying, like, throw the baby out with the bathwater with Joel Embiid. He doesn't matter at all. I'm just saying when you compare the pressure expectation, to me, the ceiling of this team is determined so much more by LeBron James than it is Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid can absolutely help them get there. And if he's really good, he can make the path even easier. But that path doesn't exist to me if 23 is somewhere else.
That's where I have to argue. I still think Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, the bench, Joel Embiid, I still think this is a championship team, and they would be considered as such. I'm trying to recall the odds and what it did when they did sign Jaylen Brown. I know they didn't jump the Knicks like LeBron James, but there's a couple ways you can look at that from the odds perspective. There's definitely hype as well built in. Money coming in, of course. LeBron James teams up. You know what he's thinking about. But, yeah, it's a great discussion. And credit to Bob Myers for kicking this one off because I did not think we'd be throwing it up on a Thursday here.
Yeah, we're throwing the
Talking some
ball up.
Sixers.
Yeah, talking some Sixers here. We'll get to what Bob Myers said about leadership in a second.
6 votes in. You want to take a guess who's leading the charge?
LeBron James.
Joel Embiid.
Okay. Well, there you go. 610-632-0975. Who's under more pressure this year, LeBron James or Joel Embiid?
Is that home cooking, though? Is that because the Sixer fans take nationally? Would it be a different poll?
I'm telling you,
Nationally, yeah.
Yeah, it would be.
I don't think so.
No?
Look at the legacy LeBron James has. Look at the legacy Joel Embiid has. Joel Embiid, if they don't succeed this year and it's because he's hurt, are people going to say, wow, 42-year-old LeBron James can't carry a team? Or are they going to say, wow, look at Joel Embiid being the anchor for a team?
Yeah, more of the same from Joel Embiid.
That's what I mean. You're going to point to Joel Embiid and say that is why this didn't work out. That puts more pressure on him. I don't think LeBron James at 42 years old is viewed as, oh, this is going to be this is going to be legacy defining for him. I think his legacy for most people at this point is either you believe he's the GOAT, or if he wins a championship in Philadelphia, you are going to do everything in your power to say, well, look, he joined another super team. That everyone's laying the groundwork for it. Everyone that agrees with the Charles Barkley, he only goes to stacked teams, is going to say, well, look at what Tyrese Maxey is. Look at Jaylen Brown is. Look at what Joel Embiid is if they win. I think his legacy at this point is defined. You either believe he's the best or you believe he's the second best. Or if you're one of the people that has the, I watched Wilt or I like Kobe a lot. There's people in this area that I think part of it's because they're local people are like, yeah, I'll throw them in the 1 or 2 area.
I think we're having two somewhat different arguments here. If you're talking about whose legacy changes most, it's Embiid compared to LeBron. Yeah, his legacy's cemented.
Absolutely. That's not even a question.
Right. And if that's your biggest argument, then we agree on that point. But as far as pressure is concerned, legacy is not the only thing that adds pressure. It's expectation of a fan base. The legacy I'm concerned about is the legacy of the Sixers franchise. And you know what they are right now? They're losers. I'm sorry, but they are.
Oh, you don't have to apologize.
No,
He's apologizing to our partner.
Oh, understood.
Yeah, we do have working
But it's
relationship.
reality.
I love the Sixers.
And Bob Myers even said. Bob Myers said it as such. Hey, man, this is an organization that has never won.
All right, and the culture of this organization and where they've been over the last couple of years, who ends up being the face of that? Right or wrong, who is the face of that?
There's only one guy. It's Joel Embiid.
They put that on the big man.
Right.
Which is why it's the pressure to change. I know LeBron James is a winner. I've seen him win. Jaylen Brown has won a championship. I know that he can get to that land. The question is Joel Embiid getting on board with the whole program. It looks like he is, but I think that puts way more pressure on Joel Embiid to showcase being that guy than anyone else on this roster.
When they win, who touches the trophy first?
JoJo. Yeah, no,
If you think that LeBron James shot is not coming of him holding Larry O'Brien in his 4th different city.
This is we're going to learn a lot. We have yet to see them even suit up. We're excited about what's coming down our path. But I think that this is absolutely steering in Ray's direction. I do. You guys are both making great points.
We've got you like a ping pong ball right now. I'll be honest with you.
I'm back and
this
forth.
is a little Olympics level.
I'm
ping
chasing
pong.
the red dot. That's what I'm chasing, the red dot right now, and I'm swaying back over to Ray. Connor, you had me, but more as we talk about it. And yes, I think that's it because I think this is going to be absolutely get one for the big man. Everybody here loves JoJo. Everybody loves Joel Embiid. They do. They do. To a man, they do. Everybody is in love with who JoJo was and saw the light at the end of the tunnel. The frustration is we have been there and done that now for years, and everybody is tired of it. But, I am a prime example of it, man. I love JoJo. But I was telling you before.
You've got a mural of him in your home.
I have a mural of
Your
him.
wife's trying to paint over
And it ain't happening.
He's still here.
He's not going anywhere. My point is, everybody grew a little tired of it. You're right. There's some detractors. I'm not going to paint everybody with that brush of love for JoJo. But the majority of Sixer fans who have been paying attention from JoJo's beginning to where we're at now, we're all in the same boat. It's just like, man, we love him. We know what he's capable of. But damn, man, I'm tired of this song continuing to play. He can't stay healthy. Hopefully this year's a little different.
That's what you hope for. Let's see who can swing Sean next. 610-632-0975. Call, text, voice memos on the Davis Honda text line. Get in at 610-632-0975. Because it opened up as a who's under the most pressure. It's become Joel Embiid or LeBron James. And I see where you're coming from. I don't want to say that I'm totally blinded to the world in which you exist, Connor Thomas. I just think it's so much more at this point for Joel Embiid, legacy-wise, and also if it doesn't work with him, look what they did to the last old guy on a max contract. You said they'd be able to get someone on a buyout market. If someone wants to play with LeBron James next year, it's not Tyrese Maxey that they're moving. It would be the big man. That puts a lot of pressure on your one shot to win it with LeBron James. If he thinks you're in the way of the ring, he's going after the ring.
I see where you're at, too. Listen, it's good to feel seen. We're being very healthy with this conversation. Right. I appreciate that.
I did like 4 therapy sessions, all right?
But I think you're wrong, so I'm going to stay on this side.
All right. From this roster, there was one guy that Bob Myers on this podcast specifically said he asked to lead. Who it was surprised me at first. And now that we've come to it, it makes a lot more sense given the time frame they had this conversation. But here's Bob Myers on the Cousins podcast talking about who he asked to lead.
Right.
Why did we do what we did? We thought that youth, we thought that his game, his leadership, Jalen, you know him, I know you're friends with him. We needed an edge, and I think Jaylen Brown sets an edge. And you need to win a championship, guys that are of that ilk, I think, that are comfortable being uncomfortable, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
And he is one of those. And so the deal came down, and then, I didn't know Jalen at all. Not like you guys probably know him with the deal. I talked to him the day after, and I just said, listen, we need don't ever underestimate that you're a champion and that there's power in that. So use that with this team. We don't have that on our team. This is pre-LeBron.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Different then. And I said, we need you to lead. I'm going to ask you to lead. And I don't know that he'd ever had somebody maybe say that directly to him. Like, we need you to lead.
They need Jaylen Brown to lead. Now, again, this is pre-LeBron conversation.
Yeah, kind of mixes it up there a little bit.
It does mix it up a little bit, but you see Jaylen Brown in the gym with LeBron James. You see him in the gym with Tyrese Maxey. And, again, it speaks to the shift here. Jaylen Brown, whether or not he wanted his own team, he wanted to be treated as equal to Jason Tatum, whatever you take out of Boston, he is no longer there. He comes here, and it's been somebody's team for a long time. Before LeBron got here, it was all right, where are these two guys? LeBron's here. LeBron now takes the mantle as all right, he's your alpha. You've won 4 titles. You're in the GOAT conversation. But I think that even speaks more to the shift here culturally and the shift that you see in this organization. It's not so much this is Joel's squad. This is the direction of the organization. Joel, get on board with where we're going.
I think that's fair. Now, let me ask you on that because it ties in beautifully to the conversation we were just having. When was the last time it was Joel's team? Because it wasn't his last year.
Yeah, it's always his team.
And see, that's Sean and John back. We had this argument of, I think Maxey's the leader of this group. You could say the most talented guy on this team is Joel Embiid. Similar to my argument about the Phillies clubhouse. Of that team, who's the leader? It's not Harper. It's Schwarber. Harper, you would say, of the entire group is the biggest star, but it's Schwarber's the leader of that team. Embiid's the biggest star of this group. Maxey's the leader of that team.
Nah, I disagree. I will fight on that one. I always stick to my guns on this one. It's Joel Embiid's team as long as he's suiting up.
Is it still Joel Embiid's team?
Well, there's been a lot of change, a lot for debate at this point in time. You bring a guy like LeBron James, it's hard not to sit here and say it's not his team.
Right.
But I have to give credit where credit is due. Bob Myers putting that out there on the podcast. Like, yeah, I could see Jaylen Brown being the leader of this team. I don't know, though. I don't know. He's saying all the right things. I got to see what happens on the floor. At this point in time, I still have to go with the guys that have been here. Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. So if I'm telling you last year that Joel Embiid, it's his team, I'm still going to stick to it. It's Joel Embiid's team. It's the big man. I don't care if people say he's washed. I don't care if people say he doesn't play enough or whatever. Joel Embiid still is the guy that it all revolves around. So Joel Embiid, to me, it's still his team.
Nah, it's LeBron's team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you could say it's still Joe's. But my point in just bringing that up was like, I don't think it was Joe's last year. I think Tyrese Maxey was the leader of this team. And then you you trade for Jaylen Brown, and Bob Myers is saying, yo, you're the leader of this team. So you've got 2 guys that were here pre-LeBron that have already been put over Joel Embiid when it comes to leadership from internally.
Yeah,
And now LeBron's here where, come on, it's LeBron James.
Right.
So you're telling me he's 4th in the internal candidates for leading this basketball team. And you're going to try and tell me he's got the most pressure on him?
He's got a legacy-changing season coming up that he probably has one shot to get it right with LeBron James. That, to me, is a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I
You
think
don't have many more bites at the apple, given your health, given your age, and also this entire organization has signaled to you, hey, Jaylen Brown, we want you to lead. Tyrese Maxey's been the leader. Tyrese Maxey, by the way, you're a clutch sports guy. We're going to go out and get LeBron James. Those three guys being channeled to lead this team tells me you're under a lot of pressure to, one, keep your 76ers career going, to, two, change your legacy as a Philadelphia athlete. And, oh, by the way, even with that, shock me, oh, by the way,
Sorry.
that third level of this conversation is just simply father time. LeBron's beating it. It's caught up with pretty much everyone else. Father time will get Joel Embiid at some point.
yeah, we know that.
But I want to hear from Derek in North Philly, who's chiming in here at 610-632-0975. Do you believe Joel Embiid is under the most pressure, Derek?
Listen, y'all, what gets me mad, y'all always bring up Joel never's there, he don't play. If he wasn't in the playoffs against the Celtics, we would not have won.
Correct.
Maxey, I love Maxey to death. I love him to death. He cannot carry this team to no championship without Joel. So why do y'all? Yes, Joel misses a lot of games, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when playoff come, check his numbers. He's averaging better than everybody on the team. He's always there for the playoff. I don't care if he misses 100 games a year.
Joel Embiid? How many playoff games did he miss this past season, Derek?
Ask me to answer this. If he wasn't in that Celtics series, would we have won without him?
I said it. I said it exactly what you just said. No, but
Okay.
How many games did he miss in the playoffs this year, Derek?
Listen.
No,
how many?
I answered your question. You answered my question.
I don't know how many. Tell me.
There you go.
I want you to tell me correct, right?
4.
Now
Four.
listen.
Four
Now,
playoff
four.
games. And I was even underselling
Wow.
it.
He just came off a damn
Derek,
sorry for the
Derek,
cursing.
you're all right, Derek.
And
Hang
he's
on,
still
Derek.
before.
I'm going to let you talk.
Okay, go
But
ahead.
you
Go
can't
ahead.
call in and say he doesn't miss playoff games when he just
All right.
missed 4
All right.
playoff
All
games,
right.
Derek.
All right, yes, you are correct.
Thank
now
you.
let me speak on this.
Yes.
The reason why I'm saying it that way is y'all always act like he's not a productive player when he plays in the playoff. If he missed 4 games, why? Because he was sick or hurt, got an operation? What was Maxey's numbers in the playoffs, the second series?
So is Max under the most pressure? Is that where you're going with this conversation?
Yeah, he needs to. Because he's going to have to step up.
I love
can't
that.
give us 30. He can't give us 31. I love Maxey. Don't get it wrong. He's the truth. But he's going to have to carry that team because now LeBron's going to have to get rest because he's older. Joel should be able to get rest because now Jaylen Brown can cover some of that scoring. Now Joel, when he got a lead, he get on the bench and they lose the lead. He got to come right back in the game. Now he don't have to do that.
They're going to have more
So
guys
Maxey
to cover
gotta step up.
Joel for you. So Maxey is the secret third door here, I guess, that we could open up.
That's great stuff, Derek. I love that. Because I am with him as far as the Maxey conversation. Like, you guys, see, you're talking about handing the reins over to 2 guys that have never been here, and I understand Bob Myers said that.
Yeah.
I can't get there. I'm not inside the facility. I could just go off of what I have. Right now, I'm not willing to give up the baton saying it's LeBron James's team when he hasn't even shown up.
LeBron's
I
not
think
here
that's
without Tyrese Maxey.
Way overstating things, regardless of what Bob Myers just said or not. So that's why I want to push back on that. But to his point of what Derek just said about Tyrese Maxey, totally agree. The issue that I would have is allow this kid to grow. What's he, 24, 25?
He's 25 because I'm 26. We were born the same
Okay. So we got a
2000s babies.
long way to go. And as I bring up often, nobody had him making an all-pro season. You know what's crazy, too? Lamar Jackson. How old do you think Lamar Jackson is?
At this point, he's got to be 30, right?
He's not 30. Lamar Jackson's 29 years old. Dude, that's crazy to me. I saw that
That's
this
30
morning.
to me.
Yeah, close enough.
Hey, take it easy. All right?
Hey, you're what?
I'm 40.
55?
Shut up. Still, though, man, these guys are so young. They got a long way to go. Derek, you're right about Maxey. I believe in him. We'll see what he's got.
Can we clip the shut up? I need that on my board
Yeah, we'll
going
get that for
forward.
you.
All right. Are you going to tell me to shut up talking about the Phillies coming up
I
next?
never tell you to shut
All
up.
right. I want to get to the Davis Honda text line. Who's under the most pressure? Because we had limited it down to Embiid and LeBron, and then Derek threw Tyrese Maxey in there. 610-632-0975. The Phillies Won a game in Seattle. We didn't go sleepless last night. We'll talk about what went right for them. And Jesus Luzardo, the second starter in the postseason. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. Brace and Dunn, 97.5. return music after you had told me that you had got the open, like rolling.
Yup.
I started going through like instrumentals. Now when I go on YouTube, it's all my recommended is just hip hop instrumentals. I can't even find any other videos.
Are you gonna start spitting?
My
You gonna start
algorithm?
freestyle?
No.
You want to be a comic? I thought you were gonna say, "Oh Lord, you know what? I have written a few raps. Take it easy, Ron.
Yeah, no, I haven't. Take it
Easy."
Such a
That is not a disrespect. That's no shot at Roan, who is just in a world of his own, and I just salute that dude so much of what he was able to do. And if you have no idea who I'm talking about, it's all right. But Roan from Bars.
No, he could actually freestyle.
Battle rap world champion.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not even freestyling. It's more along the lines of like he put him in the middle of like straight up 8 Mile Eminem stuff. I know everybody saw that.
I know you all like to talk about my emerging stardom and talent and all that. That's one place that you would find me failing miserably. I would be off the boat without a life jacket. I would be just trying to survive, and I would not. I would drown, and if he forced me to rap, I'd be pathetic.
I'm drowning.
I would not drown in the conversation of who's the most pressure for the 76ers this year. It's led to a couple different branches. I'm loving the YouTube chat right now, talking about Jaylen Brown and the pressure of leaving the Celtics, what's on him. We didn't really dive into that angle of it, but we have a poll up there, 975 Middays. LeBron and Embiid, who's under more pressure this year to succeed with the 76ers? We're curious what you're feeling out there at 610-632-0975. So before we switch on over to Lizardo, and I just saw something on the Bird app that's really going to throw a little gasoline on this fire about Jesus Lizardo and his spot in the rotation come postseason time. I first want to go to the Davis Honda text line, feel the Davis difference at Davis Honda in Burlington, and get a voice memo in here. What do we got?
Happy Thursday, guys. To answer the question, Joel Embiid easily has the most pressure. This is coming from a massive Joel Embiid defender. I've had to defend the line for a while, but this is that year that he could do a complete 180 as a player and how people look at him if he just does what he needs to do and is that MVP caliber player. Like you said, not MVP immediately, but that per 36 where he is the most dominant player on the floor. So without no question, Joel Embiid easily has the most pressure.
Easily, Connor Thomas.
Well said.
Easily. Who was that again?
That was Matt from Percy.
Oh, I love Matt. Matt always chimes in on the voice memo line. I loved him before that answer, but I love him even more now.
He is Joel dual 180 Embiid, according to Jeopardy. So, listen, doing a 180 might be his thing.
The thing I would say is that sounded like a Sixer fan. That exactly where I'm at. I have defended JoJo up until about 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't know you much in that time.
Yeah, I eventually,
you got a mural of him.
It's time
First
to
guy's in your bio.
Correct. Yeah, it's time to cut bait and say, you know what, man, it's been a great run. But of course, this changes everything with the additions. Bob Myers, it starts with him. Obviously, for him talking about it today was great as well. But I totally agree. If you were somebody that has been riding and dying with this team from day one, and Joel Embiid when he was drafted to where we're at right now, I don't see how you could say anybody but him without seeing these guys suit up, right? Like, I think that's going to change a lot from my perspective, definitely, when you start to see these guys in a Sixers uniform together on the floor. That's when I can get to the point of, like, no, it's no longer Joel Embiid's team. How am I supposed to sit here and say that? How am I supposed to say it's anybody's team but Joel or Tyrese Maxey, the two guys that are currently the longest tenured 76er player on the roster?
Yeah, I think there's a way you could say it. I think there's certainly a way you could say it.
Yeah, well, we know who he
And
is.
6'9" from St. Vincent, St. Mary's, number 23, LeBron James!
I do want to put this out there, and I know that was a great voice memo, but this is a monster conversation out the chute. And that's what we're doing here, right? Like, this is a great barroom discussion. This has got the juices going from all different angles. Somebody bringing up, the fact that we didn't talk about Jaylen Brown. Well, yeah, like, that's where you come in. Get involved with the conversation, people. Dial in. We want to get the people involved more so on this show than any other show out there, and, of course, on our station as well. So, Ray, give them the number one more time.
610-632-0975. Place your phone calls.
Let's go. Phone calls. I want to hear the thoughts. Sixers have LeBron frickin' James, dude. 100 people were lined up 3 hours before that store opened. Like, there needs to be a little bit more juice to this conversation. It's August, I get it, but come on now.
Sixers have LeBron James. It wasn't Sixers have Joel Embiid as the lead into that.
Because they've
prompt.
had
Okay.
Joel Embiid, and
That's
people
my
have grown
point.
sick of him. There's pressure for him to change his good name. All right? I want to be talking about Shirley Temples. I want to be talking about tweeting about how some girl told you to come back when you're an all-star. I have that tweet saved. I was going to do my own version of that when the lead host thing happened. I was going to do my own version of she told me to come back when I was a lead host. Now it's up, but I didn't do it.
He's such an interesting cat.
Me or Joel?
JoJo.
Oh, okay.
He's our guy, though.
I missed that Joel. I missed the chronically online Joel. Now he's just tweeting about the Dodgers. Speaking of baseball, coming up, we're going to get, I see Mike Delran hanging. We're going to get to him on this one because he's got another branch of this conversation in terms of the most pressure in the Sixers organization. You can get in on that conversation at 610-632-0975. Anthony Sanfilippo, our buddy from On Pattison. We said, I think this was a conversation we either had on the air or off the air. Every time he's on the air, we get something good. He's got something good at On Pattison right now. He just tweeted out in the last hour, call me crazy, but if I were the Phillies, I'd consider starting Jesus Luzardo in game 1 of the playoffs, assuming they get there. I explained my rationale, my latest from On Pattison. Woo! Spicy. Jesus Luzardo, where does he fit in your postseason rotation after we've watched this tremendous stretch from him over the last couple of months? We'll dive into that as well. The Phillies win yesterday out in Seattle as they continue on with their West Coast swing with the Angels this weekend. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. This is Brace and Dunn, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phil's bounce back. I'm Connor Thomas, and this update is brought to you by Dell Technologies. Back to school starts now. Get the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core from $699. Find yours at Dell.com/deals. Phillies had a nice bounce back W in Seattle yesterday, shutting out the Mariners en route to a 6-0 win in the series finale. Jesus Luzardo went 7 innings of one-hit ball and another ace-level start. Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber both went deep in the game as well. And for Schwarber, it was his 40th of the year. He's the first player in Major League Baseball this season to reach that 40 home run mark. He also talked about it being his 4th straight season of 40-plus homers after the game.
Like you said, it's not more about going out there and trying to achieve or attain a certain number. I think it's just more trying to stack as many at-bats as you can to keep trying to help the team win.
Always humble, that Kyle Schwarber. They have the day off today before starting a series with the Angels tomorrow night. The Eagles wrapped up training camp yesterday as their preseason gets ready to come to a close. Next up for them is their final preseason game tomorrow night at 8 p.m. against the Bengals. And Union face Red Bull New York on Saturday. We'll talk to Yogi Roth of the Big Ten Network at 1 o'clock. Little on the Birds, little on college football. Interim head coach of the Union, Ryan Richter, joins us at 1:30. This update's also brought to you by Mattress Firm. Sleep falling short? Visit Mattress Firm today. Their sleep experts will find you the right bed at an unbeatable price during the best sale of the year. They make sleep easy. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
and a miss. He got him. And that's 200 strikeouts for Jesus Luzardo for the second consecutive year. And it's also the third time in his ever-growing career that he reaches 200 Ks in a season.
His name is Jesus.
Jesus saves all.
Luzardo.
Saved us yesterday. They get swept out there. Put up 6 runs in the first 2 innings. That was nice to see. Schwarber going deep. Harper going deep again. Harper elite, right? We put that one to bed.
I would hope. I think I saw Connor say on social yesterday, someone want to tell me he's not.
Did someone tell you that he was not?
Yeah, some guy down in Atlanta.
I did. Jeez,
I enjoyed it. You know,
it's on brand. At least it
You got
wasn't.
to tip your cap at one point.
If there's a hill that he's going to sit on, yeah, I'm cool with him sitting on that one.
At least
I
it's
miss you,
not
Johnny.
Billy C in the afternoon drive.
Well, and that's the thing. I respect Kincaid's stance on it because he's not shying from it.
Yeah.
Bill shies from it.
Bill plays
Bill
both
doesn't
ways.
like him, and Bill.
Bill plays both ways. I also know this. Did you see this yesterday? Quick nugget on Bill Colarulo.
Oh, all right.
He said nobody, quote, should be sounding the alarm with anything at training camp. I believe that was his quote. Sorry if I got that wrong, but trust me, the sounding the alarm, yeah, that sent some bells off in my head. Because you know who did say that they were sounding the alarm? The morning show.
Oh.
So a little PM AM.
You mean to tell me Bill and John don't get to eat lunch together anymore, and now all of a sudden there might be a little problem in the bromance?
Now, Bill is right. You no need to sound that alarm by no means. However, I just thought that was funny. Billy C.
I mean, there's levels to alarms. This isn't a 5-alarm type situation. If you want to sound one, I'm good on
I
it.
don't know, Jim. An alarm is an alarm. Nobody likes an alarm, correct?
Dude, horrible. Today it hurt.
Yeah.
Today
Alarms,
the alarm hurt. I'm not dragging today. If you can't tell, I've got the energy, but this is one of those days I'm going to go home and I'm going to have
Misread the
nothing about it.
calculations.
A couple of pitchers.
you're doing karaoke last night.
I didn't do any karaoke. I didn't step up and sing. I got to say the crowd last night disappointed in the karaoke song choices. It just didn't carry the room.
You ended up at McGillen's on a Wednesday night.
I did. Well,
God bless you.
So I wanted to try a new restaurant with my buddy. We went and had dinner, and I was like, listen, we're not going to go out in Center City and not stop and get a drink somewhere. I was like, when I was a younger man, what I would do on Wednesdays in the summer, sips, and I'd end up at karaoke McGillen's at, till all hours of the night. So I was like, you know what? I want to relive those days, back when I had no responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended up acting as if I had no responsibilities, knocked back a couple of pictures.
Hey, man, the show sheet comes in. It's crispy. We're ready to go.
Show sheet came at what, 6:30 this morning?
And we got a lot to discuss.
They said that they were worried about me this morning, that no matter what happens, I always end up awake and delivering a show sheet. That's not worrisome.
I said I was a diva.
That's just the way I work.
Did you need Jesus to save the day this morning for you?
We'll have Jesus save the segment in a matter of minutes here. I do want to put a little bit of a wrap on some of the Sixers conversation for right now. We'll get back into it in the 12 o'clock hour. But who has the most pressure on them in the Sixers organization as we sit right now? It all comes from listening to Bob Myers say that LeBron chose the hardest path for him. The one with most scrutiny, maybe. The one that didn't make the most sense to anyone, because Miami going back there, he had already won. Cleveland going back there, that's home. He's already won there. I want to get a voice memo in before we go to Mike here on the Davis Honda text line, 610-632-0975. What do we got?
Hey, guys, it's Derek checking in. I work at a law firm over here at Three Bala, and I agree with Ray that Joel Embiid is under the most pressure of any player on the Sixers and maybe any player in the city of Philadelphia outside of Bryce Harper to win a championship. LeBron, if he fails to win, I don't think that tarnishes his legacy, but Embiid needs to win a title to cement his legacy and do something that guys like Barkley and Iverson could not do while they were here.
He shuts everybody up.
Yep.
You cannot say any. Again, I'm not painting everybody with this brush. There's always going to be naysayers. There's always going to be negativity on the timeline. But the people that are honest with those conversations, they're going to have to eat their words. If they had something to say about Joel Embiid in a manner of, like, he's never going to win, he's never going to get a team, he's a loser, yada, yada, yada.
You know what I need on this? Because when you keep saying most, I keep thinking that, like, your viewpoint is skewed by the Bernard conversation. I feel like you have a lot. I feel like Bernard does a lot in terms of your Embiid perspective on the way people feel about him. I want to hear from Sean Bernard on this. Oh, I want to hear from Sean Bernard on this. I'm soliciting a voice. Do we have?
Yeah, dude.
No
it's
way.
already here. You're the host of the Midday Show. If you say it, listen, we got Jesus on our side. We can make anything happen.
Whoa. All right. What does Sean Bernard have to say?
What's up, fellas? It's Sean Bernard out in Manayunk checking in here from DraftKings Network and Crossing Broad. And a lot of good points on both LeBron James and Joel Embiid having the most pressure going into this year. But I think if you were to ask every person in the locker room who has the most pressure coming in the season, the guy that I think would step up and say me is Jaylen Brown. This was a dude who was thrown to the side by the team that he was a Finals MVP, that he did get over the championship hump, that has largely been attacked due to the analytics and advanced metrics that point to him not being the superstar player that he clearly looks in my eyes on the court. I think this is a dude who's hungry, who wants the pressure, and is ready to step up. Let's not forget that all the buzzwords and conversation were about this guy wanting his own team. That's not exactly how things played out in this entire transaction and offseason. I think Jaylen Brown is feeling the pressure, and I think he wants it on himself entirely.
Sounds like a smart guy. I'd love to work with that guy someday.
I love the angle. Hopefully we'll have some news on that soon. I love the angle of what would the players say. I love that angle. You'll hear me say that a lot because that's reality. That's truth. And he's probably right. I think they would all sit there to a man and go, no, it's me. LeBron, and to Connor's point, who's going to deny LeBron James and pressure, right? It's LeBron James. He's a global athlete. Joel Embiid would scoff at that, wouldn't he? In this city, everything that's said about me, I can't compete with this guy. Who was in front of him? Aaron Gordon?
Aaron Gordon.
Right?
Like, all right, I didn't even bring that up as part of my argument. The man's ranked behind Aaron Gordon across the NBA right now. Aaron Gordon. The guy played less games than Embiid last season.
Which is ridiculous, but you're right. So
I was trying to step back because I knew I was going to start yelling.
You would have LeBron.
Ruin people's speakers.
You would have Joel Embiid. I don't think Maxey would say, it's me. I don't think Maxey would say. He
would give a great PC answer, though. He would give you the whole, I internalize pressure all the time. I'm always under pressure to get better. He would spin in a beautiful way. Maxey can spin a beautiful tale.
All right, so we know what Jalen would say. We know what Joel would say. And we know what LeBron would say. Who's the winner? Who's got the most pressure? If you were to say, okay, we're going to sit down with these players and hear them out. I'm having a hard time coming back over to Connor's side, Ray.
Oh, I'm asking the guys about pressure?
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about the pressure that's put on them. The pressure's on Embiid whether or not he's going to sit there and tell you it's about him. Just because his personality isn't one that's going to say the pressure's on me.
No, he would say that. He would say that the pressure. He would scoff at LeBron going, I got the most pressure. He'd be like, in this city? For the 76ers? Have you read what they say about me?
The story that was written about Embiid last summer that was longer than the Odyssey to read was headlined the most pivotal offseason of Joel Embiid's career, and that was going into last year. Now he's got LeBron James as his teammate, Jaylen Brown as his teammate, and again, he is right now watching as the culture of this organization, everything shifts from him.
I'm back on Ray's side.
All right. Let's go to Mike from Delran. Mike, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic.
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
Yo, Sean, awesome reference about the battle rap stuff, dude. Do you watch that? Like, do you watch those?
The Roan reference.
What
those guys do.
Yeah, Roan from the beginning has always caught my attention, even before where he's at now doing crazy stuff. But Roan is, and of course, prep dude, so local cat, just doing big things. And I'm a hip-hop guy at heart. Yeah, sure, a little bit.
Right, but I'm saying, do you watch those like battles on YouTube? Like, man, they're some showmen. Man. Like, they're real good. Like
straight up dungeon stuff. I love it. Yeah, you're right about that, Mike.
Yeah, I watched it years ago. There was a guy by the name of Thesaurus who said to a guy, "Where'd you learn karate from?" Connie Chung. And from then on, I couldn't stop watching it. I was like, "This is great stuff, man." So I think everyone's wrong. First of all, 2 months ago. The majority of this fan base wrote Joel Embiid off. How do we get rid of his contract? We're sucking Drek until he's gone. So I don't know how you go 60 days later saying he's got the most pressure when 2 months ago. So here's the deal. If he wins, then it's exceeding expectations. He cannot underwhelm. Like, whatever his worth is what we all expected was going to happen.
I don't know about that. Joel can't underwhelm. Joel Embiid has a bad game. They lose the game. I'll open up the phone lines the next day. I won't even have to talk.
We already expected him to be Drek, right? So anyway, Jaylen Brown, he's won a championship. LeBron James, like you said, he can retire tomorrow and his legacy cemented. I think the most pressure, if I'm a guy in that building, I think it's Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse has to figure out how to make this work. If they don't get past the second round or they don't at least get to the NBA Finals, you're going to look at this coach who had this roster and you couldn't get it done. I'm telling you, if I'm putting pressure on anybody, or at least if I think who feels the most, it's got to be Nick Nurse. Because if this doesn't work, how do you bring him back? You know, I think it's got to be him. Go Birds!
Appreciate it, Mike. That would be something you talked about earlier, but the way he ends that call, he says, how do you bring him back? If they don't win after year one with LeBron James, and LeBron James goes to lay GM on you and wants to see things change, who's the max contract that you end up sending out of here? It's not Tyrese Maxey.
No.
That's the thing. It's not Jaylen Brown.
No.
So he's saying if things don't go well, Nick Nurse is going to be gone. Sure, Nick Nurse could be gone. You could look at the coach and say he could be gone.
Nick Nurse could be gone by December.
I also look at who on the roster would be gone. And if you're trying to match salaries to get another max guy in here, and I'll go take the Charles Barkley side of things here, when LeBron James wants to stack the deck, you got to get rid of one of the cards. And that card that he would get rid of them, you would just think, based on the guys who are here, would be the big man. I'm not advocating for it. This is the tough thing as a Joel Embiid defender on this one. I'm not advocating for them to move on. I'm not trying to spell doomsday for him, but I'm telling you why that I put the pressure on the guy. That's it. I'm curious for people how you feel at 610-632-0975. We'll dive back into it.
Let me update the poll before we do that.
Okay.
And somebody tweeted me and said, where's the poll at? Well, it's at 97.5 middays. Come on.
Is this standing strong?
It is standing strong. We don't have a sponsor for our poll, do we?
No,
okay.
no, we don't. No, we don't do a daily poll.
Not yet. Available polls here on the Midday Show.
Yes.
Certainly available polls.
Three of them, in fact. Embiid, 76% at this point in time, is leading the charge. 76% leading the charge. More pressure for LeBron James or Joel Embiid for the upcoming season for the Sixers. Embiid.
He might be losing the poll, but right now he got the short out there on Instagram, on YouTube, and Twitter. So Connor's technically winning in life here. He's winning on the digital engagement.
You're getting Wally Build right now.
Wally Build. I didn't say that one. Enzo the Baker checking in. LeBron nationally, Embiid locally.
Okay.
Sinclair Garner checks in, says LeBron is 41 with 4 titles. Joel is 32 without a conference finals appearance. What the hell is Connor talking about?
Talking facts back here if you don't like it.
Like that. Sinclair.
All right, Connor Thomas, since you're on the roll and I'm being Wally Build today, where's Jesus Luzardo in the Phillies postseason rotation?
This is going to be a bit of a cop-out, but it matters. Really interesting numbers to tell you exactly where it should be. It depends where they play. It really does. It depends where game 1 and game 2 is.
I like that angle. Now, my real quick question would be, would Don Mattingly have that approach?
I don't know how much the nerds have incepted his brain because he's a baseball guy, but I also know that ultimately Dave Dombrowski is going to decide how they do this.
Are you going to go down the nerd path with us right here?
Well, I'm just saying the numbers. If we're going to go by the numbers.
All right, nerd.
Luzardo's home ERA is a 4.52 this year. His road ERA is a 1.79.
Oof.
Sanchez's home ERA is a 1.68. His road ERA is a 4.07. So if you're starting game 1 on the road, if you're one of the bottom 2 wild card teams, I think it should be Luzardo. I agree with what Ant San, who we mentioned his article on Pattison, what he's saying. There's an argument to have that. But if you're at home and the Phillies are hosting a wild card series, or somehow they find a way to make a ridiculous run to where they're hosting in the NLDS somehow, you're going with Sanchez at home. Luzardo's been bad at Citizens Bank Park.
I'm not going to poo-poo it because of home and away. I like that angle, though, and I think that that's one of the deals that you would bring to the table and say, hey, look, this is an important number that we need to look at and have a conversation about. It's great stuff. I don't think you overthink Christopher Sanchez and what his potential, his ceiling is for a game 1 start at home. I just think you would go Sanchez, and I'm pretty sure even on the road, unless Luzardo is just still at a ridiculous pace, what he's been literally now for 17 starts, if he is still doing this over the next month, it's definitely a conversation, but I'd have a hard time putting him at 1. Christopher Sanchez, we know what he is capable of. That dude could very well be the best pitcher in baseball. We're not saying about Jesus Luzardo, even with the numbers, even with the metrics, even with our
I tried to, and then he gave up, 4 runs on Friday night? We didn't talk about Luzardo at all yesterday, and then he has a great start. I'm going to shut up.
Won that game, though.
I go Sanchez 1, and I don't think that that's up for debate. This is not it. So if the playoffs started today, there's my answer. Sanchez would be 1 easily. Luzardo, Playoffs start today, easily number 2.
If playoffs start today, it's hard to make the argument for Zach Wheeler trying to figure it out in a second game of a series. Like right now, and this is kind of where this conversation goes, because I think I'm still reaching. You know, I'm trying to find something to believe in. Give me something to believe in here by the end of the year with Zach Wheeler, that I want to say he's the second starter because he's Zach Wheeler.
Do you know who sings that song?
No, not off the dome.
Poison. Give me something to believe in.
You didn't think I would pull that out as a reference, though.
Hell
Give me
no.
something to believe in. It's not a song you think that I've ever listened to.
But it is a song that you know.
Oh, yeah.
I like Poison. They got some, you know, they're a happy band, a happy rock band from the 80s, early 90s.
So my entire 80s knowledge comes from a lifetime of car rides with my parents, where that's the music. And also really my dad on Saturday mornings sat downstairs and did all the bills and like all the stuff at the house. And he had a mix that was just going. So I want to say Give Me Something to Believe In was a part of that Saturday morning bill doing.
Shout out to Old Man Dunne. It's a great tune.
He's got the 80s music I know. If it wasn't a part of that Saturday morning, I'm doing the bills and taking care of the household mix.
Speaking my language.
I don't know it, but songs like that fit.
Nothing but a good time over here.
And if it was on 80s on 8 with Alan Hunter.
Now
and,
we're talking.
Mark, what's Mark's last name?
Summers? Or no, not sure, but go ahead.
Yeah,
80s on 8.
80s on 8,
right.
yeah. Oh, today we're counting down the top 40 songs from this week in 1983. Up next. You know, that would be my full genre. If it didn't make the morning mix or it didn't make that list,
Yeah.
I have no idea it existed.
My favorite part is, are you going to remember your original point?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, go.
I want something to believe in with Zach Wheeler. I want him to be the second starter, but I don't know how logically you could go into the postseason today and say what you've seen from Jesus Luzardo over the last 3 months trumps Zach Wheeler's postseason career. And he's been one of the best postseason pitchers ever. Point blank, if you want to nerd out, which somebody in the YouTube chat was saying this show should be called the 3 Sports Nerds, and it wouldn't be disrespectful or wrong. Have you ever been called a nerd in your life, Sean Brace?
Of course, but I don't. I'm more of a meathead.
Yeah.
2 nerds in a meat?
I'm going to pass on that
Yeah,
one.
I'm going to pass on that one.
We're still working things
Welcome
out.
back into 2 Nerds in a Meat.
Yeah, we're working through it. But
I also love that Nerd is using ERA splits.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, right. I'd use the most basic baseball stat in the history of the world.
They might use batting average next.
Giving the point over here, Connor. You're all right, my book.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I don't know what your book holds, but I'm glad to be in it.
It's a lot of notes.
Want Wheeler, yeah, that's in his notes. You want Wheeler to be the second starter by the end of this. But I don't know how logically you could go in today and say what you've seen over the last, 10 starts now? It's for Zach, 8 starts for Zach Wheeler versus the last 3 months for Jesus Luzardo. It's tough for me to justify it. I want to fight for Zach Wheeler today, but it's a losing fight.
Correct.
Yeah, the Wheeler thing is a different conversation to me because he has struggled mightily. Like, we're looking for something to believe in, like you said with Wheeler. But with the top 2.
Poison, by the way.
The reason Luzardo's in this conversation is because he's forced his way into it. And that's a good thing. Like, I think if you want to start Sanchez game 1 right now, based on what you've seen from Luzardo, that's an emotional decision because he's our guy and he was the National League All-Star starter and he had this scoreless inning streak. But we're not doing this because we can't find somebody. We're doing this because we have 2 guys who could, which is a really good place to be. This is not a scary conversation. This is a good conversation.
Absolutely. And you go Sanchez, Wheeler, and Luzardo is what we always would say. You can't say that anymore. You have to trust your eyes and even look at some of the numbers. 203 strikeouts, 163 innings. He is straight up dominating. It's not just surviving these starts, Luzardo, and piecemealing it together and getting through. No, he's dominating, where on the flip side, Zach Wheeler is anything but. Do I believe that Zach Wheeler could return to form in September? Of course.
He's Zach Wheeler.
Do I hope that's the case? I know we're all in that same ballpark, but here's the deal. Playoffs start today. You're rolling Sanchez home or away for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. He's 1, and then 2 to Luzardo.
Zach Wheeler's stretch has put his ERA over 3. Christopher Sanchez, for as much as we've seen the traffic on the base paths, the guy's ERA is still in the mid-2s. And I get your home road splits. I respect that, and I honestly think that, there's a chance somebody in the front office is like, well, Dave, we should probably, I do think that person exists, all right? I think that person's out there. And if that person, wants to hire you, Connor Thomas, I'm a nerd just like you. Even though I don't think it's being a nerd to bring up ERA.
It's on the damn scoreboard. You could read it at the ballpark.
There's a lot on that scoreboard.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair point. That was bad on me.
That I know for a fact. All right, I know for a fact is on the back of the baseball card. All right, John Jansen, you want to check in and try and tell me it's not on the back of a baseball card? And I only bring that up lovingly because I couldn't believe that OPS wasn't.
Yeah, he's all
or
over
on
it.
base wasn't on the back of it.
Over Wheelhouse Cards and Media, he checked in. Anytime we're talking about baseball cards, do that. Yeah, there was a point, boys, that I think it was June that we stumbled into the conversation. I found this post that the number one pitch in baseball was Christopher Sanchez's changeup and how unhittable it was, untouchable it was. Now, you got the Paul Skeens sinker that's slowly creeping up the plate, but still to this day, the number one pitch in baseball as far as toughest for hitters in a Major League Baseball across the board is Christopher Sanchez's changeup. So if you're telling me that's the guy who's going to get a start in game one, I'm all systems go, and I'm not going to overthink it. I do believe there is a conversation, and that's a conversation that they're going to have, because that's the difference with this. Real quick on this, 30 seconds. We're having this discussion. We're having fun. Barroom discussion. We're talking about with our friends. Oh, I would go with Lazard over Wheeler. They are too. They are too.
Yeah, they're having it.
Normally they're not. And yeah, normally they're not even thinking it. Like, is this potential? But now I don't see how in a world that they would not go with Lazard over Wheeler.
You know what they should do? They should piggyback Wheeler and Luzardo and trust Nola in game 3.
There you go.
I'm kidding.
Let's
kidding.
break.
That's parody. That's parody.
Why you skipping my man Painter?
Oh, that's a good point. They should piggyback Sanchez and Painter, then piggyback.
Throw them all 2 innings every game.
Yeah.
And Nasty Nestor.
It's a shame because as much as we've complained about this rotation this season, 5 of your top 8 trusted arms are probably your starters. And that's with the seasons that Nolan Painter have had. That's a bullpen problem. I want to get tweeted us, all right? The way that you would break out the preseason rotation. Yeah, I got Eagles on the brain. Postseason rotation. Tweeted us the order you would go 1 through 3, how you break up Sanchez, Luzardo, and Wheeler. I'm curious for that at 610-632-0975. If you want to get crazy and throw Nolan there, go right ahead. Coming up, it's a Throwback Thursday, Sean Brace. You got something for us. You're going in the way back.
Yeah, we're hitting the DeLorean. We're going to talk about rookies who had an immediate impact in the city of Philadelphia, and we'll go national with it as well. But I'll tell you what, not a lot of people are going to remember when this rookie in Philadelphia sports in the last decade, 11 years, we'll go, last 11 years.
No, decade.
Was it? It's
2026.
Yeah, but 17 it was. Oh, so excuse me. My bad. My math is
He's
off.
not a nerd, guys.
Yeah, I'm not a nerd. So last decade, this rookie kicked the door in a big way here in Philadelphia. Let's revisit it.
And one more Phillies question for you. That's coming up on Brace and Dunne, 97.5. Middays with old and Bo. Give me something to believe in. And you're just working away at your American Airlines credit card bill. Annoyed that you have to spend money on these 3 obnoxious kids.
You hear that Ricky Rocket snare drum in your ears there. Of course, the sweet tones of Bret Michaels, who was bald, but everybody believed he had like a full-on wig underneath, hair down to his butt. Yeah, it's Rock of Love, right? Did you watch Rock of Love on VH1?
No, I didn't get that deep into it.
See, Poison was on a tee for us up in Scranton.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, that's Scranton right there. That's what that is. Ugh.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Nothing like it on a Saturday morning.
Now,
My house.
I'll give you something to believe in with Luzardo. I'm right there with you. He's not the game 1 starter. And anyone that's saying that he is, it's wrong. You could have your take. You could see what Luzardo is doing right now, but that's just short-sighted as far as Christopher Sanchez discussion is. What he's capable of, he's far and away a potential, as far as more potential, a better pitcher than Luzardo. He's dominant. I know Luzardo's having a dominant season, but there's just a difference when you start to talk about a pitcher that's in game 1 and who's been having an incredible season in his own right. All-star. I don't have to go down the list. We know with Sanchez, all the innings that he didn't give up a run. Like, there's plenty of pluses for Sanchez argument. To say that Luzardo is your game 1 starter, I just think that's wrong.
No, I agree. I'm going with Sanchez. I'm going with the guy that over the largest sample size I've gotten something that's also pitching relatively well. Now, comparison's sake right now, the top 2 guys that have been your top 2 guys are actually the bottom 2 guys right now, which is a hilarious twist on this whole thing. Actually, I think Sanchez bearing out numbers since July 1st has been worse than all. I have to go double check that one. I have not.
Yeah,
I've not done the comparison game in like 2 starts, and Sanchez has been solid in those 2 starts. So
if Sanchez started that game yesterday and the Phillies won 6-0, there are articles being written about how dominant Sanchez is and start the playoffs, and Luzardo will be the number 2. But because
I'm good with Luzardo being number 2.
Correct. That's where I'm at.
I need to see a September in which Sanchez falls off and Luzardo continues to ascend before I hand him the ball in game 1.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that Ranger Suarez stretch where 2 years in a row he makes the first start in Atlanta and he finds a way to win that game. Like Luzardo's road ERA. If we're talking about an NLDS in a hostile environment, and then you can get Sanchez maybe for game 3 at home, take a shot at something. Wild card series, you're giving the ball to Sanchez.
Yeah.
But NLDS, I can make the argument, boys.
Let's get to an NLDS.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Let's get there. Let's get there before I start losing my mind over
It's
this
like
one.
a lot like LeBron James, and am I handing the keys of the castle over to him, and he hasn't even put the Sixers uniform on yet? Like, I'm having a hard time doing that. Get to the NLDS, and
then we could start getting freaky with it. All right? Let's not get freaky until we get to an NLDS.
Let's go.
All right? Yeah. Fair. Yeah. Luzardo, by the way, credit to Dave Dombrowski on the deal, the extension, all those things. I want to give him credit for one more thing before we get to Throwback Thursday. Eugenio Suarez, waivers for the Reds. In case you missed it, the guy that and listen, I pined a little bit for him in the offseason when we were talking about change. Suarez could be your third baseman. Gino Suarez, go get him. He gets a 1-year, $15 million deal from the Reds, and he's been mostly a DH, and he's been mostly a disappointment. They put him on waivers. The thought is he'll end up staying in Cincinnati. Quickly, 30 seconds from each of you here. Are you taking a shot at Eugenio Suarez claiming him off waivers?
Absolutely. He is a guy that I would love to have on my bench in a possible pinch hit spot. I think depth would be the number one reason why for me. He's got some pop. He's very streaky. I'm not concerned with him getting innings in the field. And also the fact that I believe a team in front of the Phillies will probably be in pursuit of him as well. So I would rather have him on my squad than not. 19 home runs this year. We know what he's capable of. I wasn't so much sign him in the offseason. What I was trade for him, 2 years ago? 2 years ago, and he went to the Mariners, correct? So that's where I was then, where I'm at right now. Bring him in. Who's our right-handed bats off the pine?
Sosa, Hill, De La Cruz.
All right. Suarez would be a nice addition there.
Connor Thomas.
I'm not doing it. I mean, the batting average is not remotely where it needs to be for a guy, and I know he's got the pop, but he's been a disappointment this year. Another big factor for me is I argued all season long with Andrew Salciunas about this on the morning show, and I cannot give up my position now. I finally won this argument, and then I'm not bringing him here to watch him hit big-time Matt Stairs home runs in the playoffs.
Die with the take. I respect it.
No.
Die with the take. Yeah,
Yes.
no, I'm in on that. Die on the take.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm out. I can't believe I feel comfortable with what they have coming off the bench. I just think you lose all the defensive. This is not a defensively flexible roster. They've tried to make it a flexible defensive roster. It's not necessarily that right now. You make it even less flexible defensively by bringing him in.
It's a great point. That's probably the strongest point anti that you can make.
I'm not following, though. Why?
Because he's playing third base. He's not really playing third base. He's been a DH for the most of the season.
Correct.
So you're bringing him in here, and if you have him pinch hit in a big spot, you're going to end up burning a second player and rearranging the entire diamond. Like, am I moving Stott over to second base so then Arise is coming out of the game? Or is Stott coming out of the game because I'm pinch hitting? Or am I pinch hitting him for someone else, moving him to third base, moving Stott over to second, moving Luis Arise to first base, and then maybe moving Alec Boehm out of the game?
I understand, but I think I'm looking at it more of a desperate situation. I'm looking at it win or go home. This is playoff time. This is time to get up there. You get one opportunity. I need somebody that can go up there and hit the long ball. Give me some power numbers. Don't want to make Suarez to be out, like, to be Babe Ruth.
No, I got you. You're getting Scott Rowland in his prime from the Reds.
No, what he's seeing is the Disney Kirk Gibson situation, where it's like the guy can't walk, the guy can't field, the guy can't hit for average, but if he just runs into one.
He's streaky. You know that. He had 19 bombs up there in a bad season with the Reds.
Yeah, he can hit the ball out of the yard.
Okay.
Problem is he can't play the field. He's not going to DH over Schwarber.
I'm not bringing him in to play the field. I'm looking at it from a simple pinch hit situation. Who's going to get him? Somebody's going to get him, correct?
Yeah, I'd imagine.
All right.
The Rosenthal story suggests that there's a chance he just ends up back with the Reds.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, it's $3 million.
Yeah, it's
You're
not
not willing to spend $3 million to win. What are you doing here? What are you competing for?
Yeah, Ray's bought beers worth $3 million. Like
Dude, last night I spent $3 million.
No, I'm talking at the ballpark. You probably paid for Suarez themselves, so
I probably did.
It's definitely something to keep our eyes on. We'll see how it plays.
I don't know what my next game is. I have no idea what my next game down there is going to be.
When's the next home game?
Next home game, we're looking next weekend.
Yeah.
Braves.
Yep.
They come home from West Coast swing to the Braves. It's that 4-game set.
Wow.
I'll be down there for one of those.
Yeah, same.
Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, show trip.
Yep.
I'm in. I got no plans.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm available. Monday, I'm not.
Yeah,
okay, Ray, putting the shore over the show, huh?
Yeah, he's down the shore. He's one of those guys.
Football season's about to start, man. I don't get any pilgrimages after we start.
Not a foxhole guy, Ray Dunne.
Yeah,
that's okay.
That's fine.
I felt
Whatever.
it too.
I honestly, my biggest flaw for this segment was burning through the entire thing before we got to the Throwback Thursday. So we're going to get to that coming up next because you've got Phillies-based Throwback Thursday for today.
Yeah, you just don't remember this. Nobody's going to recall the month of just pure dominance by this rookie back in 2017. Nobody is going to remember it, but when I do play this highlight for you, oh, yeah, you're going to remember then.
Nobody?
Nobody, Jim.
All right. We'll see. Coming up next on Brace and Dunne, Throwback Thursday with Sean Brace.
That's right. It is a Thursday, all right, here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And listen up. Something big is coming. And on September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day arrives with massive deals, exclusive offers, and an all-day celebration built for sports fans like you and I. Now, the countdown has begun. All roads are leading to Game Day. You're wondering what Game Day is? Well, you got to sign up at DraftKings today with promo code Fanatic and get ready to celebrate the biggest day of the season. It's something new that DraftKings is rolling out, dropping all day long deals, and you can get it on the app. Every sport, DraftKings Game Day is yours. So mark the date, September 2nd, people. It's next Wednesday, DraftKings Game Day, kicking off a new season, a new era, with the biggest day in sports. So get ready to celebrate right now. And new DraftKings customers sign up with promo code Fanatic. You spend $5 to get 200 in bonus bets within 21 days. That's code Fanatic in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambler problem? Call 1-8-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Pennsylvania only. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 in non-withdrawable bonus bets issued every 7 days via click to claim for 21 days. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
timeline, and I'm going to lose it in a second. And it's maybe a dumb question, but it's one that I have for you.
Yeah.
This guy from Villanova grad, 1999 Villanova graduate, Stephen Curry, is giving a $1 million gift to endow the first ever non-head coaching position in Villanova athletics. It's going to be the defensive coordinator for the football team. Stephen Curry being your name. It's spelled with the PH.
Oh, no.
Is that one of the most brutal name takeovers of your life? Like, this guy graduated from Villanova in 1999. So he is older than Steph Curry, but he's Stephen Curry. To have your name taken over like that, what's the most brutal name takeover you could have? Because for his entire life, he's going to have to tell people, no, it's Stephen.
Yeah.
No, I'm Steve. You have to go by Steve Curry. And even that is tough. Like, I feel for that guy. I'm upset that they took my name and made that lifestyle brand, the Ray Dunne, the Raedunn.
Which I was not familiar with until my wife said that's basically the pottery stuff.
Right. And I was upset when Livy Dunne took all the Dunne trademarks, and she's now the most famous Dunne. Not that I was before, but now it's a very clear hierarchy here. What would be the most brutal? The SNL did a skit on it once where it was, I think it was Matt Damon. Like, it was a guy that was like this world-renowned surgeon, Matt Damon, and he met Matt Damon, and he was like, I hate you.
Yeah.
Like, every time I show up somewhere, you make a reservation as Stephen Curry, and someone's like, wow, you're showing up to the restaurant. Like, Steph Curry's coming to our restaurant. It's like, no, they're just, Steph Curry's not in Ardmore tonight. Like, it's a different Stephen Curry.
Uh-huh.
What would be the most, is Michael Jordan probably the worst one? Because there's probably plenty of Michael Jordans out there.
Well, I'll go to Connor first because what I have is basically the sledgehammer, and we're going to move off of this conversation. But go ahead, Connor. What is yours?
Yeah, it'd have to be MJ.
Okay.
I mean, the Tom Brady. They did that commercial back in the day of like the folks up in New England named Tom Brady. Yeah. I do have the one that I get tweeted at all the time.
What's that?
The Connor Thomas that pitches. He's been up and down to the majors. I just did the Instagram check again. I still got him by a couple followers.
I forgot about this bit. He's got more followers than the professional pitcher, Connor Thomas.
I'm Connor mogging him.
Yeah.
We got him.
There you go. A little mogging makes an appearance.
How do you do, fellow kids?
A guy that Cooter, what was it? Cooter Moggin? What was it?
Maxing.
A guy that you brought up, Jansen. I did shows with Jansen for years across the way, and he's actually in Sports Talk Radio, former offensive lineman, Michigan, played in the NFL, and John Jansen, and he would get tweeted at relentlessly. It was ridiculous. But no, I'm going to give the sledgehammer. The worst one is easily Jerry Sandusky from Baltimore.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yep. Forgot about that one. That's
always the winner, boys.
Yep, that is always the one.
A buddy of mine was playing high school football when that was going on, and Sandusky's brother was coaching at like a D3 school and came to the school to recruit him. They called him down to the office, said, Coach Sandusky is here. Come to the office for my buddy's name. And that was a very, very uncomfortable moment for him.
Yeah, that's Yeah, I'm gonna actually leave that one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
I told you. What did I say? That's the anvil.
Just drop.
Yeah, you win on that one. That's the worst one for sure. To be sharing the name.
Survey says.
Yeah, that's the number one answer on the board. All right, from that to Throwback Thursday, Sean Brace, take us back in time. What do you got today?
All right, hop in the DeLorean. We're going 10 years ago. Rhys Hoskins didn't just arrive in Philly, boys. He exploded onto the scene. Now, today, back in Philadelphia sports history, he hit a home run. Now, that, is significant in itself, rookie season, but let's not forget on what he did in his rookie year. 50 games, 11 bombs, called up on August 10th. He put together one of the most ridiculous starts in Philadelphia sports history, honestly. 11 August home runs, most by a Phillies rookie in a single month. He was passing on Barry Bonds and Willie Mays as far as numbers are concerned. Just was a reason to believe at a bleak time for the Fightins back in 2017. So we asked the question about rookie debuts and people that got your attention immediately, and if there was a better rookie debut than Rhys Hoskins. Love to hear that. However, we do have a cut from Rhys Hoskins' first home run in San Diego, and I'm going to give you this little piece, a little nugget here. The dugout, if you forget, they gave him the silent treatment after the home run. Here's how it sounded.
There's a high fly ball to deep left field, way back there. It is gone! The first major league home run for Rhys Hoskins. Giving some air fives to everybody.
But they are ecstatic. for number 17, Reese Hoskins.
And a high fly ball to deep left center field. This one is gone. Second home run of the night for Reese Hoskins.
Homered in 5 straight, tied Chase Utley's record. 25 ribbies in 19 games, second fastest start since RBI became an official stat. Just keep going on and on about that dominant start to his career with the Fightins, and 2 in the first game out there in San Diego. Pretty cool.
I remember it. I remember the stretch.
You do?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I do as well.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Again, it was a glimmering light of hope, Sean Brace. That's what it was. It's funny to look back at it. 18 home runs in 50 games.
That's crazy.
For him to
Yeah,
begin
so
his career.
the month of August, he had 11, so that's my fault. I misspoke there.
No, I think you had it right. I was just
18 and 50.
That's insane.
Wow.
If you want to go nerd out on this one a little bit, we'll use WAR. What's it good for on Baseball Reference? The second highest total WAR for him in his career for a season was that season. That's how good he was in those 50 games. The 18 home runs is more home runs he had with Milwaukee in the second season and Cleveland this year. And those are full seasons.
Also wild, he was playing corner outfield at that point too, wasn't he?
No, that was the next year.
Oh, really?
So he comes up as a first baseman.
Oh, okay. Then they moved him out.
Then he goes to left field because Clentak's favorite baseball player of all time was Carlos Santana.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got to bring in Santana.
Not the guitarist either.
No. Who's got the name between the two of them? When you hear Carlos Santana, what do you think?
I think that's a pretty easy one, Ray.
I think down here.
Stop it.
I'm thinking the baseball player.
I think our audience thinks
he's one of the greatest guitarists of all time. You're going to tell me that he's going to lose out to Carlos?
I'm not telling you that Santana's better at baseball than he was at a guitarist.
Black
I'm telling
magic woman, boys.
I'm telling you with this audience. It's a sports talk station. You go down the hall, sure. The Matt Cords of the world, yeah, I got you.
Talking about a career. Carlos Santana, the guitarist.
Casey Boy, our buddy Casey Boy, yeah, it's the guitarist.
He comes out with Rob Thomas out of nowhere.
Rob Thompson, you mean?
Tell him to break a Fortnite game, and then he can have the top spot.
Yeah.
That was game-changing for that locker room. We saved no, okay, I guess he didn't save the season.
Can't believe you guys are even going down that path, man.
All
Santana.
right. The answers we got, because the Throwback Thursday, we wanted to get your answers on the rookie season that you remember the most for Philadelphia sports. For me, debut-wise, Michael Carter-Williams. Talk about coming on the scene. That game against the Heat, I think about it at least once a week. And I watch the highlights of it at least once a month.
MCW.
Yeah. I was a big Syracuse guy at the time. So they got MCW. Also, you talk about glimmers of hope. It was the process. So it's like, this guy's going to be a part of the future. A year and a half later, he's traded. I remember the Magic Johnson tweet. They just traded the next Jason Kidd, and Jason Kidd's going to coach him. Yeah, I was there. I lived it.
Yeah. I interviewed Hinkie. John and I interviewed Sam Hinkie in that draft. Very few times he spoke. We got him. That was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
At PCOM. You know what was really cool, too? Yeah, get involved with the conversation over at 975 Middays. Quickly on this, you talked about your dad listening to music. Speaking about Santana, I got my dad's record collection. He passed away a few years ago due to Alzheimer's. And I got my dad's record collection. And it opened my eyes to how cool my dad actually was. He had the number, dude, he was a diehard Santana fan. I'm talking albums. Plural. At least 12, 13 albums of Carlos Santana was handed to me. I'm like, my old man was a Santana fan. Did not know that.
So now I feel bad for taking the Carlos Santana baseball player.
Oh, that's all right. It just hit me as I was looking at, he's 79, still crushing it, man. Still performing in Vegas. He's doing it right.
That's the group trip we should be taking. This show in Vegas, we wouldn't have to talk sports after that trip. We would do 4 hours on the Vegas trip. Actually, no. What happens in Vegas for this group probably would want to stay in Vegas.
Yeah, not for air.
Coming up, news at noon. We'll dive back into the Sixers conversation from earlier on today. We also have to get to Jalen Hurts.
Carlos Santana's still in the league.
Yeah.
With his 240 average, you're telling me he's over Carlos Santana.
Oh, almost 20 years of the bigs?
240's 300 these days.
He's still in the league.
How many years? 18?
You know who he's playing for?
The Twins?
Nope.
The Guardians?
Pirates?
Diamondbacks.
Oh, wow.
We get to see him in a couple days.
He went Philly, Cleveland, Kansas City, Seattle, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee, Minnesota, Cleveland, Chicago, Arizona.
17 years in the bigs.
All right, maybe it's not so disrespectful. That's a hell of a career.
That's a heck of a career.
Yep.
He's Matt Clentak's favorite baseball player of all time, for crying out loud. All right, coming up, news at noon. We'll get back into the Sixers conversation. Which member of the Sixers organization, is under the most pressure this year. You jump in that 610-632-0975. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunne. Brace the Dunne. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Another shutout win. I'm Connor Thomas. The Phillies bounced back in Seattle yesterday, shutting out the Mariners. A 6-0 victory in the series finale. They didn't win the series, but that was a nice, comfortable way to head into the off day. Jesus Luzardo, 7 innings of one-hit ball. It was another ace-level start for him. Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber both went yard in the game as well. And for Schwarber, it was his 40th of the year. He talked about his 4th straight season of 40-plus homers after the game.
Like you said, it's not more about going out there and trying to achieve or attain a certain number. I think it's just more trying to stack as many at-bats as you can to keep trying to help the team win.
Phils are heading down to L.A. They have the day off today before starting a series with the Angels tomorrow night. The Eagles finished up training camp yesterday as their preseason gets ready to come to a close, and they're getting geared up for the football that matters. But they got one more preseason game to take care of first. Tomorrow night, they host the Bengals at 8 p.m. at Lincoln Financial Field. The Union are facing Red Bull New York on Saturday. We're going to talk to Yogi Roth of the Big Ten Network coming up at 1. A little bit of Eagles talk, a little bit of college football talk, and we'll also talk to Union interim head coach Ryan Richter at 1:30. This update is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
It was all on the TV screen as far as the 30 for 30, which was unbelievable timing. Yeah, Magic's incredible.
Yeah.
He's got impeccable timing on the social media timeline and apparently behind the scene as ESPN2 as well.
Yeah.
Or Classic or whatever channel that was.
Is ESPN Classic still a thing?
I don't think so. You know, it's not still a thing. And what are they thinking? Removing the ticker, Ray.
Oh, yeah.
It's football season. You're going to take away the ticker? You couldn't have done that in April?
No, I saw it on my timeline. People didn't sleep last night.
Well, I think there's a reason for the ticker, especially during college football. Now, if you love ball, you would know what I'm talking about.
I know what the ticker is. They got tickers everywhere.
Yeah, but okay, there's a difference between a ticker during college football and not having it. The ticker in college football lets you know upset alert. The ticker in college football lets you know when they're in the red zone.
Hey, what you got right there? I think it's right next to you.
The phone?
Is that your phone? Okay, yeah.
Just another thing. I don't want to be on my phone anymore.
I don't want you to be on your phone either, Sean Brace. But time moves on, you know?
There's no reason to remove the ticker.
Okay.
How about I don't need the score up there at all times?
I'm fine with that. I don't think it makes sense to take it away. The ticker, it's like, all right, yeah, I like it. Sure, it gives me the updates here. But the chance that I'm scrolling on the Bird app and figuring out what's happening versus the ticker coming through every 5 minutes with the, oh, look, yeah.
It just stays on the bottom. Doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, listen.
I just think it's a bad move. Like, the college football season's here, and now you're messing with my flow.
That's fine. And you can be upset about it. I saw it last night. I thought maybe they said that they were not televising college football anymore.
Oh.
People on the timeline of I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh.
College football season, you're messing with the ticker. What are we doing?
Well, one more reason to go watch Fox, CBS? Yeah. I don't know what you want from me. ESPN?
Oh, they're keeping the ticker.
Oh, they're
You're
keeping the ticker.
right.
Yeah.
Ooh. Now we're going to see who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah.
I would say
I won't be able to sit through that SEC football game without getting the score update for the Big Ten that I saw 10 minutes ago on Twitter.
It's funny because ESPN did it the right way. I don't recall whether or not the other channels do, but regardless.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
Fair enough, right?
Yeah, it's sad. It's a nostalgia thing. At some point, we're going to be watching highlights like, wow, remember when they had the ticker on ESPN?
Yeah. And it's funny because you'll be watching some of these old school games and you're like, there is no score bug up there. And you're like, man, they don't have the score bug in our face the whole game.
I like the score bug because you flip on the game and you know exactly what's happening.
I was saying, you can't get rid of the score bug. I understand. I was having some fun with that. But the ticker literally during college football season is a little bit more than your average ticker.
Should we have a ticker on the YouTube stream?
We got a lot on that screen. I just don't think so. No, I don't.
Don't they have a lot going on in the football game? I guess we would have to have Dutsy update it. Your argument here is that you get the upset alert, you get the scores at the bottom.
Correct.
There is something to be said, nostalgia-wise, of the red flash on the ticker at the bottom there.
Boom.
Breaking news, you know. I just think breaking news breaks on my phone at this point.
All right.
And that's the tough thing. I
That's what
understand
they're
why they're
saying,
doing
too.
it. I understand why they're doing it. I'm not anti-ticker. I'm just,
Sounds like
I wasn't as broken as everyone else over the ticker. How many times can we say that in one segment? All right. It's time for the news at noon.
It's the news at noon with Connor. It's not Ray Dunne anymore. I don't care what they say about them anyway. It's the news at noon, and that's that.
Oh, we got some great stuff for you today. A lot of people upset about things, and a lot of people upset about what people are saying about things. That's the media world we live in.
That's the news at noon.
That's essentially all of it in a nutshell. Thanks for tuning into the segment. No, we have first a check-in from Greg Amsinger of MLB Network. He was on with the Gas House Gang in KMOX, and he was talking about something that he needed to get off his chest. A lot of people have talked about the Savannah Bananas, and some people are not too happy. Greg finds himself in that category.
This is the first time I'm confessing this. The Savannah Bananas make me want to vomit.
Oh, here we go. My guy. Now, I didn't say that I hate them. I said...
See, Tom, you're a professional and I'm not. I will say the thing, right? I will say the thing. It is a travesty of baseball. I can't stand it. And I'm fine. I let all the banana heads hate my guts, whatever.
Banana heads.
I can't watch fake stuff. I can't. I don't watch WWE. What do these games amount to? What does it? What does it matter?
It's a good time, Greg.
Oh, good old Greg.
It's a good time, Greg.
Yeah, and that ties into what Ray was spitting yesterday, where he's anti-banana ball. And I just think...
Just not for me.
It's not for me either. I am not anti like he was and Jason Worth was. Jason Worth on his podcast.
Yeah, Jason Worth is kicking Shane Victorino out of the 08 Phillies group chat over it.
Yeah, he literally was a very forward with Devin Caney going, nope. Like, I think it's embarrassing for Shane. What is he doing? And it's like, it's a good time. Kids enjoy it. Regardless.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I'm sure Shane gets a nice little pay.
I don't think Shane's showing up for free.
Yeah. All right. Well, regardless.
You could pay me to play banana ball. I'll put it that way.
That check's got to be long for me to get out there and dance with no shirt on.
Stop.
No shots.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
We have a video of you from the YouTube kind of shimmying on air from yesterday.
As I am leading in good question hunting, 6-3, 6-3 still.
6-3, yeah. We got a couple of guests today.
Look, it's not for everybody. I do tune in from time to time, and the next thing you know, like during the half inning, like they're dancing and shimmying and sliding between legs. Like it's all right. I'm out. I got other things.
I'll be pro banana ball forever if they get me out there on the field. Right. You write the check, I'm out there, and I'll sing your praises forever, Jesse Cole. All right?
I do love me some Jesse.
I will say that will get me disowned by pretty much the entire town of Edenton, North Carolina, where I spent it in summer, because they are not, I don't believe they're very pro banana ball down there. And that would hurt, because I do enjoy it. If there's ever a place I disappear to, I would probably, it's a town of 5,000 people. I could probably disappear to that place. I still got friends down there.
Hey, you've always got that as a backup.
I do. But with that being said, yeah, banana ball, not for me. Again, I believe I can be bought. When it comes to banana ball, I can be bought. There are some things in this life I have the staunch stance that you can't pay me for money to be on board with it. Banana ball is not one of those things. If the check's there, you write it, I'll cash it, and I'll sign up to be a banana ball guy.
I'd like to be anti, but I feel like it's very much in my wheelhouse. I'm kind of fighting who I am with this one, but I feel like banana ball and me would get along.
I don't know. Jim?
You don't think so?
I agree with that.
Do you think he's a banana ball guy?
Oh, he's definitely a banana ball guy. No doubt in my mind.
If you were approached by Savannah Bananas coming out of college saying, do you want to tour the world and do this?
Yes, wouldn't think twice.
Yeah, that's also for me.
Does that surprise you about me?
No, it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I just think you at this point being a banana ball guy, not that it's childish, but you know.
You saying I'm washed?
Yeah.
All right then.
That's where I was going with that.
That hurts.
Sorry.
Yeah. But I get it.
I was being direct there.
Like, not everybody's in on banana ball. It's not serious enough. So let's go to the much more serious Major League Baseball, where everything is fully focused on business. We actually have a win-win series going on right now between the Cubs and the Diamondbacks, because whatever way it breaks, the Phillies are getting a little bit of help with the wild card race that's going on right now. Yesterday, the Diamondbacks absolutely shutting out the Chicago Cubs. They lose 2-0. PCA, who could be your NL MVP this year, was talking about the pitching performance that the Cubs were up against. And this is way more serious than banana ball. I can see why we're focused on this as the last bastion of business professionalism.
It's not to take away from what Eduardo was doing to us today, because he was all-star Eduardo Rodriguez, and he was nails. So when a guy is shoving it down your throat, pause. You got to find any way you can to make something happen, and that's exactly what I was just trying to do.
Grief. PCA, brother, come on now.
Pause.
At least he caught the pause in there, but
yeah, man, we got.
He's a stud. He's an absolute stud. No, I think he has been struggling lately, which you play 162, you're going to struggle from time to time. But 276, 33 bombs, 83 ribbies, plays a hell of an outfield. You heard Tim Kirchin last week. Waxing poetic about him. Absolute beast.
And we got Gen Zers that are now athletes. That's what it is. You know? That wall of professionalism. I heard it coming in today, which I thought was such a fun segment with Salciunas. The 5 takes that are just burned in his brain through all of eternity, and it had to do with John rocking the backwards hat because he ended it with the coward with the backward hat take. The cowards of the world are not going to be able to handle being in media much longer with Gen Z. The wall of professionalism that's been put up for centuries is being torn down brick by brick by this generation.
Now, is Andrew a anti-hat backwards guy or pro hat back? Okay.
Pro.
So the new manager for the San Francisco Giants, Tony Vitello, I believe is how you say his last name?
Yeah, the old Tennessee coach that's in over his,
And their record this year, I believe, is like 59-73.
Yep.
They blew a game yesterday. Go check my timeline right now at Sean_Brace. You'll see it. I tweeted about it last night. He steps to the podium. Not only is his hat backwards, it's tilted backwards.
Oh.
The manager steps to the podium, sits down. I understand you just blew a really bad game, but dude, look the part, coach. You can't step up as a manager with your hat backwards. Yo, Skip, what are we doing?
See, I don't get it, man.
No, you can't do that as a man. You hopped on TV when you filled in with a backwards hat, Connor. Come on.
Yeah, I get it. Guess what? You know what I saw? I saw Cam Newton win NFL MVP dressed like the big bad wolf wearing grandma's clothes.
I'm not. Players are one thing.
On the field is on the field. Off the field is off the field.
Well, he is still technically, he doesn't get on the field. He is still at business. My manager cannot have a backwards hat, especially with a tilt on it.
The guy next to you came in dressed in a bathrobe and a crown.
That's fine. Ray is Ray. Tony Vitello is a leader of men. Put your hat backwards or forwards.
Yeah, the morning show is also saying that this is not lead host. This sweatshirt. I have to say something. For John Marks, the guy came in here in a camo sweatsuit the day that Bo Bichette signed with the Mets, and that's what we're reminded of every time I go back to that video. Let's relax on what I'm wearing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What I will say is I saw the clip of us arguing about LeBron versus Embiid, the pressure conversation earlier, and I knew they were going to cut to me in this stupid Hawaiian shirt.
There you go.
Damn it.
Every time.
Kind of wish the Phillies would have lost yesterday.
That's all right.
Cut that. All right, what else we got?
All right, we'll round out with this. That was obviously tongue-in-cheek. This, I don't know what this guy believes. Craig Carton was on WFAN yesterday, and he was talking a little bit about the quarterback situation and how where you're at, what team you're with, and the organization around you, how that can affect who you are as a quarterback. A scalding hot take here on who's a good quarterback and who's not.
Some of your greatness and your success has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Great offensive line. Like, I think, I'll give you a great example. I'll get killed for this. I think Troy Aikman was an average quarterback. He had a pop gun arm, but he played behind the best offensive line in football, had the best running back in football at the time, and arguably the best wide receiver in football, the best tight end in football, and a top 10 defense. Javante didn't have a strong arm, but, 20 yards or less.
Allen, or he didn't have this cannon where you could throw it 70
So,
yards.
Sometimes your success is absolutely built on what's around you. Matter of fact, I think it always is.
Yeah.
If you put Patrick Mahomes on the Jaguars, 10 years ago, you never even heard of Patrick Mahomes.
All right, so as it typically, I don't want to say typically because I don't listen to a ton of Craig Carton, so I feel like I'm making a generalization here. But for Carton, if you stopped the take at the end of the Aikman conversation and you didn't just try and dial it up to 250 degrees and you kept it at about 100, because it's still kind of a hot take, even though I don't disagree with him on the whole Aikman thing. Like, Aikman's a Hall of Famer. You either get in because you were this incredible passer or because you were this incredible winner. Aikman gets in because he was a winner. And he took the good situation he was in and won, thus making him a Hall of Famer. That's good. I'm cool with that take, Carton. You're good with me there. Where you lose me is the Mahomes thing. And where you lose a lot of people is the Mahomes thing. If he was on the Jaguars, does he have as many rings as he has right now? No. But I think we would still realize the cannon of an arm that he's got. And maybe if the Jaguars couldn't figure it out for him, somebody else would have.
Also, let's not pretend like Patrick Mahomes was drafted to the Patriots to replace Tom Brady. The Chiefs were, sure, a playoff team with Alex Smith, but they weren't a team that won anything.
You could go ahead and check my Twitter. When he got drafted, I have a friend that's a Chiefs fan, and he texted me. Well, I'm like, Mahomes, pretty good quarterback, but I go, I don't know, Andy. I don't know if this is the right call here for Andy Reid. Well, got that one wrong. Sometimes you swing
You
and
weren't
miss.
the only one that got it wrong. A lot of people got that one. 5 of the 6 seasons prior to Reid getting to Kansas City, they were a team that won. They were under 500. 4 of those 6 seasons, they won 4 or less games. Andy Reid gets there. He puts the foundation in place. Andy Reid and that team does not get over the top without the over-the-top quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I will just tackle Troy Aikman because Carton getting over his skis. Just glad that he's not slurring, because the last time I heard a clip, like I think his dentures were like falling out. So I'm glad he got that fixed. And he's not in prison anymore too. So that's another thing. That's a good thing too as well. But to the Aikman deal, it's funny because when you win multiple Super Bowls and people are still not going to give you the credit in 20 plus 30 years later, it's just funny to me because Aikman was a fantastic quarterback. And his strength, though, was accuracy. That dude put the ball on the money every single time. Did he have the best offensive line in the game? Yep. Did he have the best running back in the game? To some, Emmitt Smith, of course. And Michael Irvin, we know, of course, the tight end. They had everything defensive on the other side. They were stacked. But Troy Aikman deserves all the flowers and then some. Come on, man.
You're telling me the Super Bowl winning quarterback's not getting his flowers, Sean Brace?
It happens. It's very similar. It's very similar because you are disrespected by the fact of the team around you is great. And it just is such a desperate take because you got to give credit where credit is due. It starts with the quarterback, but winning a championship, it's got to be more than just a QB. Come on, man. I don't go to Carton for my takes. But regardless, Jalen Hurts, don't disrespect the man, please.
We call him carton of milk around here because everything ages poorly with that guy.
That's right.
It's not bad.
Thanks.
Is that a new one?
I just thought of that as he was talking.
Yeah. All right.
Sound the alarm. Throwing interceptions at training camp.
There's no way I'm the one that came up with that. There's got to be someone else that said that before. The guy's been on radio way too long for no one to have called him carton of milk before because everything he says ages poorly.
I love it. He would actually like that.
Probably would.
He's annoying. You know who's not annoying?
I can't say that I've engaged with a lot of
Yogi Roth, who's going to join us at 1 o'clock.
That's true.
And we're going to talk some football with him. And Jalen Hurts discussion, he knows Mannion very well. And one of the things I just wrote to him, I'm like, yeah, well, one of the questions I want to have for you is, like, what are the strengths that Sean Mannion, you believe, will build around with Jalen Hurts? He also knows Jalen Hurts very well. Yogi is very connected, and he just got he's back on the call with NBC for Big Ten Network, a football guy.
I can't wait to talk to him coming up at 1 o'clock. Speaking of football and speaking of Jalen Hurts, Hurts spoke yesterday, training camp. Hey, boy, that was one for the books, boys. Camp, wrap it up. Preseason ends tomorrow. Thank God. We're going to get real football soon, but Hurts talking yesterday, you know, it's been an up and down camp. There's been interceptions. What does he make of his camp?
I feel like it was a good camp, taking in the coaching, taking in the time and the growth that comes with a camp. I feel like Sean has been great to ask questions and really great camp to learn from. So,
where do you think your command of the overall offense?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a good spot. I think it's all about really looking at the experiences. The experiences don't mean anything until you reflect on them and you grow from them and you start to apply them. And so we're very widespread in what we're doing right now, and I think that's good. And so when we can hone it down and kind of see who we are, you know, establish what exactly the identity is for us, and you know, it'll kind of come together. So still very early. As time is going on, I've just looked at each year as its own. I've got a diligence that I have about just approaching change, new coaching, new perspective, new voice, and I think that's where it all starts.
He's very coachable, right? That's the first thing I take away from that soundbite. And it's funny because camp did wrap up yesterday.
Yep.
Camp's over.
Thank you.
But we still got a ways to go until September 13th.
Good riddance.
Yeah. Well, you're not a campsman?
I'm not a camp body, no.
Huh. I dig it. I'm not one of these guys that like, just get me to camp because that's what we're going to talk about. No, that's not how it works, ever.
Yeah.
I'm sure as hell not one of these guys that just want to go ahead and give the notes on all the struggles, too, either. I'm not one of those guys.
That's in your notes?
Yeah, that's in my notes.
And that's in my notes.
But he's right. Like, there's so much new with this from motion. And even though you're putting in this generic new offense at this point in time, it's going to be completely different when it comes to the Commanders. Like, I'm sure they're implementing as they're going along with this idea of like, hey, week one opponent, the Washington Commanders, this is what we're going to be up against. However, you still don't know. You don't have that official game plan yet. So what Jalen is telling you, I think, is really factual at that point.
The biggest question for me out of all this, make it a good camp, make it a bad camp, make it an average camp. It's a learning opportunity. It's a growing opportunity. Whatever cliche you want to throw around about camp, to me, is 2 months from right now. We're sitting here. It's October 27th. All right, we're getting ready for Gunner's wedding in a couple of days. It's about to be Halloween. You know, we were a little drunk on the Phillies Kool-Aid a couple days ago. Who knows? Maybe we're talking about where they're playing. Probably not. But maybe we're talking about LeBron James' first couple games, the 76er. 2 months, though, from right now. Is the conversation that this offense has stayed the course in trying to evolve and look different under Sean Mannion, or is the conversation that they reverted back to some more of their conservative ways offensively, and that Nick Sirianni, who said at the beginning of camp this year, or actually it was OTAs earlier this year, said that he wants to end every drive with a kick. Have we moved back to that type of viewpoint?
That's such a cliche from a coach. I've heard that a few years now. And yes, we always want to end in a kick. I get that. Ben Johnson said he wants to score every touchdown, every drive with a touchdown. Right. They failed to do that in the last preseason game. But regardless, what they say and what you do is a whole different thing. I believe it's going to be completely different. I think he's going to scheme guys open. I think he's a very smart man when it comes to offense. And that's clearly.
And he works hard.
It was not Patullo's strength to do that. It was very generic, very predictable, and I don't think we're going to get any of that as far as this year. The immediate, this start. We'll see what happens as the season goes on. I do want to bring this up. There was a tweet that was put out yesterday speaking of the Commanders from, I don't know his last name, Nick Javalala. We'll just say that. I butchered that last name. Writes for The Athletic, and he said, quote, "This is the worst I've ever seen the Commanders' offense in years. An operable offensive line." How do you say his last name?
I don't know, but
I feel like we could have made a better effort.
Jhabavala.
I saw on Twitter yesterday the Commanders reporter for The Athletic.
That's all right. I want to give him his props, his praise. He put a tweet out. He covers him.
My guy Nick that covers the Commanders for The Athletic. I know. I appreciate you are like a kid on the beach. When you see the waves, you're not just trying to wade into the water.
No,
you're
running
running head first into the wave always, and it's what I love about you, Sean. That's what makes me laugh. It's not. I'm laughing at the way you approach it because it amuses me and it's appreciated for the show.
Put it to the side. I don't care. Bottom line is this. This is the worst I've ever seen the Commanders' offense in years. An operable offensive line is music to my ears.
That's right. We're all putting our Jalen Hunt Defensive Player of the Year bets in today, right?
2-0. You buy those breakfast sandwiches yet?
Damn.
Can't block anybody, but the Titans are scary. Oh, yeah, we'll see.
Damn, 2-0.
2-0.
4-0 for the Rams, or is that week 4?
That's week 4.
All right, so 3-0. Bears.
We got to see what Chicago.
You're going to give him a lost dog. Okay.
Are we doing W's and L's?
No,
Let's go through it. Let's break it down.
Let's do it. We're doing W's and L's of this program. Now, coming up, I want to get back because I know we got plenty on the Davis Honda text line at 610-632-0975. We also got the voice memos on who's under the most pressure in the Sixers organization heading into this season. We'll dive back into that conversation, clear out the text line a little bit. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. This is Brace and Dunn. Grace, I told you the bad news. I'm anti the electric scooter.
I just saw a video, and I brought up my time in Baltimore 2 years ago when I was in there for a bachelor party, and you could just pick them up. It's like Grand Theft Auto. You just throw them down, pick them up.
Grand Theft Scooter.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
But they're dangerous.
I wouldn't
man.
play that game.
They crank. They go 30, 35. They hit they're humming.
They what?
They crank. So a video just hit my timeline of two girls literally driving through the front window of like a coffee shop. I told you, those things are dangerous.
I will say it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'm anti the electric scooter. I don't get enough good news out of it. I once met a girl that had 2 different accidents on the electric.
There you go.
2. I don't know how you have the second one.
Harrison Bader has had 2.
He's had 2.
Yep.
I've been on one time. I crashed it.
Yep.
They're a little squirrely, those things.
If you are a parent out there listening and you have bought your kid a e-bike or electric scooter, e-scooter, I guess, and you don't make them wear a protective helmet, then shame on you. And I'm not trying to raise your kid, but those things are so dangerous.
I was having a debate with someone recently.
And I see so many kids out there without the helmets on, and maybe they buy them and they don't wear them. I don't know, but like, dude, we're talking life or death.
Yeah. There was so much fun out there in Nashville.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
But
sure.
they're dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. Last thing I want to do is be cruising through Nashville on one of those things.
You got to protect your head. That's the one thing. I'll tell you right now. My daughter, if you sat her down, 6 years old, what's the one thing Daddy always tells you? Protect your head. I do say protect your neck. I go a little Wu-Tang with it, but it's always protect your head. Protect your head.
Yeah.
You can fix the arms, you can fix the fingers, the legs, but the head, it's too much.
Take care of your mentals and take care of your chickens, man.
That's what's on your timeline. What's on my
Who said that?
I think that was Marshawn Lynch.
There you
I
go.
want to say.
That's exactly who it was. Nice pull.
On my timeline was a story from Alex Coffey in the Enquirer of this guy, Luke Butler, in Mount Airy. Brought corn to every game of the Phillies' last homestand.
Yes.
He threw the ear of corn into the batter's eye after the Schwarber homer. Are we going to have corn growing
Is that
in
my
center
guy
field?
on Twitter?
Is it?
It's the dude who runs the Schwarber account.
Bombs away?
That's him.
Is that him?
He's the one that's been carrying corn all around. I hope there's no stolen valor here.
I don't know. Check in, Schwar bombs away. I see you engage with our content all the time. If that's you, let us know.
I love the corn. Yeah, Schwar bombs away. At everybody hits.
That's who Luke Butler is? Did we just dox Luke Butler?
I don't know. I don't know if that is him or not. And he didn't retweet this article, so maybe he wants to be hidden. But still. No, he's got his face up there.
He tossed corn into the batter's eye.
He said, find me in section 420, 122 Schwar bombs to 500.
Wow.
He's stealing your value there. I love it. The corn.
Why is he stealing my valor?
Well, because you're the one that always counts him down and
that's fine.
ring it. Where's he at? Where's he at?
He is at 2. Actually, it's funny. I made a mistake last night. He's at 227 as a Philly. He's 6 behind Bryce Harper. Chase Utley.
Wow.
For 6th all time in Phillies history. He's 2 home runs away from matching Howard's best 5-year total as a Philly, which
That's
is
insane.
the best 5-year total in Phillies
That's
history.
incredible.
So there you go. Those are your 2 tidbits that you're going to see those tidbits on your timeline for the next couple of homers. Ring it, baby. All right, let's get to the Phillies voicemail since we're talking some Phillies here. On the Davis Honda text line, 610-632-0975. What do we got?
Yeah, this is Curtis from Lebanon calling in. I kind of believe that if Luzardo continues to play the way he's playing now, he should be the one that starts that first game. If he starts the first game and wins, then all options are open. We don't know what the other guys are going to be doing at that time. I would say if Nola is still rolling like he is, I might be interested in throwing him out there in that second game, because then the games, if we win or lose, it doesn't matter. Those other guys are going to have to pitch anyway. That's the way I'm looking at it right now, but it might sound crazy to y'all. So let me know what y'all think.
Yeah, Curtis, are you dressed in all orange today? Are you currently residing in the moment? You are a prisoner right now of the moment, right? I mean, geez, you've got the guys that have done the best over the last 6 weeks let you determine the entire postseason.
The part of the conversation or part of the question is if the playoffs started today.
That's why Luzardo's 2, because I'm allowing the moment to control who starts game 2.
There you go.
I've watched Christopher Sanchez be who over the last couple of years.
I'm good on the Nola conversation, but Sanchez is my 1, Luzardo is 2, and Hey, look, that door is open for Wheeler to show me that, hey, he's still the same old Zach Wheeler, and that's great. But right now, it's not even right now, Ray, with Jesus Luzardo. Like, we're going back. This guy's been doing it literally all season. But if you take this isn't one hot month. Over his last 17 starts, 9-1, 2.18 ERA. Phillies, 15-2 when he takes the ball. Since early June, his ERA 1.90. He is on fire. 203 strikeouts, 163. He's dominating. He's not just surviving these starts. And that sweeper pitch is his bread and butter. And you can go into Aunt Sanfilippo's post on Pattison. I'm not going to steal his stats here, but yeah,
go read it.
Well, go read it because he makes the case for one, and I appreciate that because that just means we're having a conversation. He needs to be two, though.
Now, Nola being two, he's second in ERA on the staff going back to July 1st with a minimum of 5 starts.
Can you guys use a more simple stat for me than the advanced analytics of ERA? I'm not really following.
Innings pitched, does that work for you?
Yes.
Luzardo's number 1, Nola's
Just
number 2
wins and
since
losses.
July 1st. Well, if you go wins or losses, Nola's got almost a half a run better ERA than Christopher Sanchez in that time, and Sanchez got 6 wins and Nola's got 2.
I can't go all season saying, get me to the playoffs. You got Sanchez, Wheeler, Luzardo.
And not start.
And then all of a sudden, now we're going to switch. No. It's Sanchez.
How far would it have to go, though, for you to open up that conversation?
It's all based off of Sanchez's performance in the month of September.
Oh, I'm talking about Nola entering one of the top 3.
It's not going to happen.
If Zach Wheeler looks like this another month and Nola keeps the mid-3s ERA, I know I sound like I'm taking crazy pills. I sound like I smoked something over the break. I got you.
No, the conversation would go to the quick hook and then getting Nola into the game or getting whoever it would be. Yeah, there's the things we don't even want to put into the mind.
Bullpen Nola sounds like a world I don't want to live in.
I don't want to live in a quick hook Wheeler in a game 3 spot in a playoff game.
Yeah. Wheeler, dare I say it? Dare I say it? If we're going to throw a guy out of the bullpen?
Don't do it. You don't want to go down that path, Raymond.
I've seen one guy come out of the bullpen. I was there in Game 7 against the Diamondbacks. I saw him come out of the pen.
Just say it.
I'm just saying.
I don't think people are on to you, though.
If we're talking about using a guy out of the bullpen of the starters on this team.
All right, who you got?
Wheeler.
I mean, Luzardo threw out of the bullpen last year.
I know, but I'm not taking Luzardo out of the starting rotation right now. I'm not. I can't. I know. I get it. Listen, I promise you, when I walked down the hall to MMR, all I got was water. I just needed to take a walk. I promise you, I haven't been drinking by suggesting this. It's just something that, as we walk down this path of like, oh, who would you take out of the bullpen? I'm not ready to take him out of my top 3 of my starting rotation right now.
All right.
If I'm going bizarro world where we see another month of Wheeler like this, and we are convinced that maybe he's not the one to use it and in the starting rotation, I could have that conversation. I'm not ready to have that conversation yet. This is barroom fodder. This sounds like I've had a few. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just simply throwing the idea out there.
Yeah, well, Nola's the only guy in the starting rotation where if he goes to the bullpen, he's not throwing 98. Right? So I don't look at him as a bullpen guy at all. He's either making a start, he's piggybacking somebody.
Right. Or he's doing like 2 innings. They're doing what they did last year when we got the
What's the reasoning behind that?
Yeah.
Nola start and Vic Fangio lost his mind.
I'm down on the Phillies.
Yeah. He didn't really lose his mind. He lost his mind for Vic Fangio at the podium where he was like, whoa, that's crazy. Speaking of crazy that you could pay a guy $300 million and we could be talking about how to get him out of a funk so often. Trey Turner. Do we have any answers for the struggles here? Coming up, is it time to drop them in the order? Is it time to rearrange what they're doing offensively? Because they could be hot, but he is certainly not. That's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunne. Brace and Dunne, 97.5 The Fanatic.
This is 97.5 The
asked on the old YouTube chat, Sean Brace, who's under the most pressure in the new Middays program? Andy from Lambertville putting that one out there. I mean, I think I'll take it. I think that's probably pressure's on me, right?
I guess. It feels weird to evaluate it about ourselves.
As a man who has been fired multiple times, it just comes with the territory.
Yeah, I would think it's me.
I think we're all under the same pressure.
All right.
I don't think anybody is one or the other.
Yeah, but if we can't answer that for the Sixers.
Obviously, Connor, not including you, because your name is not, it's not Brayson Dunne and Connor Thomas. So you got two names up there. So, Connor, you're good.
Yeah, I feel like you're
BJ
good.
had to come over here, baby. We're just hanging out.
It's us two. And I think we're equal parts in this one, right?
All right. All right, fair enough. I'll take equal pressure.
You know, look, I've had a fun run, 6+ years. I mean, at the last spot, and when I was here before, I think it was 8 years. I think so. Look, these jobs ain't lifetime commitments.
It sounds like a retirement.
These jobs ain't lifetime commitments, boys. So you got to get in, make as much noise as you possibly can, and there's no such thing as pressure.
Brother, we're 8 shows in. Can we get
fun.
to a month first?
Show 9. Show 9.
Hey.
Yeah, 8 shows in.
Show 9.
Show 9. Listen, we ranked our Mount Rushmore shows yesterday. We can now do a top 5.
If Andy's asking the question, I'm going to give him the honest answer. It's Andy.
That's fair.
Yeah, I feel like with transparency as a show, we should be able to have these conversations with our audience. You know?
Damn right.
I value their input. Well, speaking of value input, let's go back to the Davis Honda text line before I talk about something that drives me nuts. Let's talk about the conversation that drove us nuts earlier. Who's under the most pressure in the Sixers organization going into the season?
What up, y'all? Karate Mark checking in Northeast Philadelphia. I'd say pressure number 1 goes to the big man, JoJo. King comes to town with expectations of Joe. We've had expectations of Joe for over 10 years now. He's got everything in the world to prove. Pressure number 1 goes to Joel. Pressure number 2 goes to the rest of the damn league because we got the best starting 5 in the league. And please tell me, who you going to guard? Who you going to leave open? That's where the pressure goes. Peace, y'all.
That's what I'm talking about, Karate Mark.
I like the confidence there at the end. I appreciate even more the answer at the beginning.
We've got a ways to go until I can get into, I'm painting the picture of LeBron James getting the ball down in the block. You got Jaylen Brown crossing, coming down. Nope, he gets 2 people. Somebody follows him. Then you get Maxey. That's right behind him, streaking. Pick your poison. Karate Mark is right about that. I just need to see it. There's a lot of it's on paper. It's all on paper right now.
All of this is on paper.
Everything's on paper.
I just saw on my timeline Kevin Durant talking about the on-paper roster he played with in Brooklyn and how 21-22 is the most talented team. Can I fight something here while we're – because I'm going to speak to the person that's behind that screen right there because I've seen this put out there where people are saying the doomsday scenario for this Sixers team is that Brooklyn Nets team. Do we forget in 2020 and 2021 that if Kevin Durant's toe was just this much smaller, they knock off the Bucks who end up winning the NBA Finals? If my disaster scenario is, oh no, they came up short in the second round, I've watched that happen now how many times? Mm-hmm. If you're selling to me that Brooklyn Nets team that just needed 1 centimeter between the three-point line and Kevin Durant's toe to knock off that Bucks team that won the title, if that's the worst thing that could happen to me, you're not owning me. You're owning yourself, okay? The disaster scenario is so much worse than that. So if you want to come at the 76ers, please do it correctly because it's so incredibly lame that the NBA online community has decided, the 2020-2021 Nets is the worst possible scenario. That's my favorite sliding door moment probably in NBA history that has nothing to do with my team. Is if Durant's toe is just behind that three-point line, they beat the Bucks. They probably go on and win the title that year. Giannis is looked at totally differently because the guy hasn't been healthy in a postseason since then. Kevin Durant's probably looked at differently. James Harden never ends up a 76er, or at least not at that point. He ends up a 76er a little bit longer down the line maybe because Morey's probably still here making decisions and ends up trading for him anyways. And maybe Kyrie's happy for another season. I can't really guarantee that one. But if I'm owned because, oh no, my team has a team that's almost as talented as one of the most talented teams I've put together, you're an idiot, not me.
Roaring round of applause. Nice work by you.
How about that? Yeah.
The sliding door.
It is. One of my favorite sliding doors moments in the NBA.
Write that one down.
Yeah. I can't take credit for that either. That's a Simmons thing. That's a Bill Simmons thing. Sliding doors moment.
All right.
That's where I hear that most.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I liked it.
I'd like to take credit though.
Sorry.
But
We
it's
can go back to carton of milk.
Yeah,
we'll give
That
you that
is
one.
yours.
That's
yes.
mine. Yeah, I'm trademarking that one. All right. If anyone that's driving up the New Jersey Turnpike, you want to use it, just give credit here. All right. So what we tease going into the segment, Turner. Is it time to move him down the lineup? Like, I don't know where you're putting it. Like, who else is coming up in the lineup? That's my issue. Like, who's moving into that spot?
Bryson Stott, lefty. Can't really do that.
Right.
Alec Boehm.
His batting average with regards to scoring position. You can't take him out of the spot where he's going to be a run producer. So, no, can't do that.
JT.
No. The only reason why this segment's about Turner and not JT is because Turner's price tag's higher. JT, you'll get your day.
He's been awful.
5 for 10 over the weekend against the Cardinals. You wouldn't know it.
Last 4 games. No, I'm talking about Turner. Last 4 games, 0 for. Squeezed 2 hits in there, had an 0 for. Squeezed 2 hits in there, had an 0 for. Like, this dude it's off. He's 239 average this year, and he's an automatic out. And even when you get Ben Davis in the announcer booth trying to give him a little rah-rah, he grounds out to the pitcher. It's like, all right.
How many pitches has he seen over the last 3 days?
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Well, it was like 6 in one game, so.
Right, that's
I'd
what I'm
imagine
saying.
it's not many.
Also won the hitting title last year. Like, batting champion last year to falling flat on his face right here, right now. 239, 17 home runs. This is just a hope. It's a hope and a pray for September that he's able to figure it out.
Batting champion last year is akin to former McDonald's All-American when talking about a guy that's on his 5th year of college basketball.
Don't disrespect college. Don't disrespect McDonald's All-American
well,
like that.
anytime a former
Don't
McDonald's
disrespect the batting champion either.
It's an accomplishment, just like making the McDonald's All-American game is an accomplishment. Anytime that former McDonald's All-American is used for a guy that's on his 5th year of college basketball, it's because he didn't end up panning out in college basketball. And you're using some moniker. Or they do the former first-round pick sign, Schefter, when the guy that you forgot existed signs with the team to be on the practice squad. Former first-round pick signs. That's what former batting champion does for me right now with Trey Turner.
Yeah.
It's congratulations, Trey. I enjoyed it last season. I was hurt last year when you got hurt down there in Miami the same weekend as Phillies Karen. That was devastating me because you were having yourself a season, and I thought you were going to be different. You know what's been the same this year? The same annoying Trey Turner approach at the plate. Be aggressive in your plan for him is just be aggressive because it doesn't feel like there's a plan. It feels like me going up there and slow pitch softball, just swinging at the first pitch because I want to try and get on base.
Hey, you can work walks in that.
You can. I know. And you try and work walks. And we'll get into that at some point because I'm sure Sean Brace will rip you for it.
He's approaching his career high in strikeouts this year. He's currently at 126, career high 150. I think that's obtainable, especially if it's the last week Trey that we've seen so far.
It's just so bad. So he's $300 million. They've rearranged the entire defense to make sure he stays the shortstop. They've been good, and he's been bad. And he's batting second, and people want him to bat leadoff. And that guy's going to be the one that gets the most plate appearances of anyone.
He's holding him hostage. But here's the thing.
And in the lineup, too, because there's no other option. You want to move him down, but for who? For what? For when? Why? Like, I know why, but for the rest of those questions, I got nothing.
Silver lining. You just talked to Ichiro out there in Seattle. They just had a nice conversation. Maybe he fixed them. I'll give him the LA series. We'll see.
Yeah, because I got this
bump.
angry today. He'll have a great LA series. That's how this works. You know who I won't be angry with?
Who's that?
Yogi Roth.
That's right.
I can't wait to talk to him. NBC Sports, college football analyst, and just all-around football guy, and a good friend of Sean Brace.
Yeah, man. Northeast Pennsylvania's own. That's right. So that's where we battled on high school for a few seasons, had some fun there. He probably doesn't remember it. I know he doesn't remember it.
I was going to say, is he aware of
No.
the kicking record?
No.
Should we ask him about the kicking record?
No, because he's up against it, so we only have a certain amount of time.
Oh, that's
So
right. Can't waste time.
I want to talk some football with him. Sean Mannion, the strengths, building off of what he knows with Jalen Hurts, and, of course, everything we're hearing coming out of the camp. Not a lot of positives, so what does he buy into that?
Works for me.
All right.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to breaking down, picking his mind. We also have picking his brain, picking his brain. We also got Ryan Richter, Philadelphia Union. Join us at 1:30. Loaded 1 o'clock hour. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. Brace Dunn, 97.5 The Fanatic. Dunne, brought to you by Morgenstern Hair Restorations. Great teams stick together, so does great hair. Morgenstern Hair Restoration Championship results. Visit morgensternhair.com or call 610-831-HAIR. And from the very beginning, the genesis of Brace and Dunne, we knew this show was going to happen. There were a few people we were kicking around that we wanted to talk to ahead of football season. And this man ranks right at the top of that list.
No doubt about it. For my money, one of, if not the best, to cover the great game of college football. A friend of the program from northeastern Pennsylvania to where he's at now, I think, out in sunny California. But, of course, you're going to see him on the sidelines representing the folks over at NBC on all things Big Ten coverage, ladies and gentlemen. Yogi Roth joining us. Yogi, great to have you. How you been, my friend?
You know, it is so good to see you. NEPA just running through our veins, Northeastern PA, Suburban League, you know, Mid-Valley, Lackawanna Trail. There's a few of you that know what that means, but Sean, you and I do. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely, Yogi. Always great to get you on. And a true story, I will just say this. Yogi, his story is incredible. Make sure you follow him on socials. We went out and tweeted it out. He's done it all. Author, and he does the work. And right now he is on a tour on all things college football, of course, as I said, for Big Ten. And he's got one-on-one access with greats like Dan Lanning, Coach Signetti, go on with Matt Campbell, Penn State, all across the board. So he's doing the work, and this is the guy you want to hear from when it comes to discussions with these teams. So with that being said, Yogi, I want to jump right into the Ducks. And my take on Oregon this year, putting the roster to the side, I believe in Dan Lanning. I love me some Dan Lanning. I could look you in the eye right now via Zoom, Yogi, and say, Dan Lanning will win a national championship. I don't know if it's this year. He is too good not to break through. I know there's a lot of hype this year. Is this the year that Dan Lanning gets it done, and is this his best shot in your mind?
I think it's best shot to date. I met Dan Lanning when he was 24 years old as a young graduate assistant at Pitt and Arizona State, and to watch him rise has been amazing. We know, you know, the coaching industry is big money, and you usually don't get it right. You know, very few coaches kind of walk out on their own, you know, accord, like a Nick Saban, for instance. You often don't get it right as an AD or a search firm or whatever. They nailed it with Dan Lanning. I think every AD in the country is like, who's the next hot coordinator that can come in and just light up a program that in this era is to me a blue blood in that regard. They've got, of course, all the resources, but they have a lot of depth. They have a lot of substance. Can they win it this year? Yes. The two best teams I've seen, I saw 15, 16 teams on my tour, Oregon and Notre Dame. They stood above the rest. Now, not by a lot, like Ohio State, Indiana, like they're right there. But those two, to me, were the two best teams my eyes saw, for whatever that is worth. And Oregon has the best defensive front and might have the best quarterback. And they got an offensive line, and they're going to try to figure it out, like place guys where. We'll learn how that shakes out early in the season. They got a tough game. They got to go to Stillwater in week 2. And then, of course, the Big Ten slate is not easy. But they come here to L.A. to play the Trojans in late September at the Coliseum. That is going to be epic. That is going to be must-see TV. I'm sure my boy Todd Blackledge, he'll be all over that one. It's just going to be all-time night at the Coliseum, and away they go. But they're built for it. They've got a top 10 defensive tackle. They've got 2 edge rushers. They're going to be first, second day picks. They got the best quarterback, one might argue, at the NFL moving forward if he chooses to do that. So, yeah, they're built for it this year, and I'm with you. He's going to win one. I think he's one of the best coaches in the country. I think that he took up a lot of the oxygen that the aforementioned Nick Saban left when he left the game. And I think a lot of teams are looking at Dan Lanning every week, and a lot of fans are like, what did he say? How do you motivate the team? Just like you and I.
Yep.
You caught the attention of most of Northeast Philadelphia and Delaware County with the Notre Dame drop right there. What did you see from Notre Dame that has you buying the Fighting Irish?
Well, I'll say them. I just got back from Penn State. They were the last team that I saw, the most recent team, I should say, that I saw in training camp. Notre Dame, you got to start at the top with Marcus Freeman. The way that he conducts that program is, in a way, and this is my new favorite word this year, of like, what are you most convicted in as a head coach? And if you are you throwing down on that every day? And him and the word integrity, to me, go hand in hand in terms of being convicted and doing it with old school values, but in the new school way. So that's whether that's a transfer portal, whether that's rev share, whether that's playing young guys early, whatever. But it's built in the foundation that he learned as a player, that he learned as a coach. I saw that. I saw an elite offense and defensive front. I saw potentially the best corner in the country. Secondary that's going to fly all over. And then C.J. Carr. You know, Dante Moore, C.J. Carr, Julian Sand, Jade Mayava, I mean, the quarterbacks this year are amazing. And with this new rule, if you follow it in 5 for 5, players can play another year. All these guys that I referenced, like nobody's maxed out in their 5th year of college, and we know what guys are getting paid right now. So we'll see how it shakes out. But CJ's a real one. He's a Heisman contender, if not a front runner. Notre Dame, we all know what their schedule is, but they also know what happened at the end of last year. Now, that's probably the biggest takeaway is this team, I don't think they've started 2-0 under Marcus Freeman. They plan to do that and much more. The schedule's a little different than it was, of course, a year ago with A&M and Miami. But they're built for this thing. I think they're going to stay focused, mission-minded. Miami comes to town in the middle of the season. That'll be the biggest game of the season for them. And I think they're going to catch a lot of vitriol around the country because of their schedule and not being in a conference. But this team is as talented as anybody. I think they're a sure lock to make the playoff based on what I see in their schedule. And I think they got a chance to go win the whole thing.
Covering all things Big Ten, NBC Sports. What's the first game for you, Yogi, coming up with this season?
You know, you reference work, and I'm like building up my playlist right now on my screen over to my right. I got 2 games in week 1, which I love, just kind of going in the fire. So Thursday night, Eastern Illinois against Minnesota. Drake Lindsay, remember the name? You're going to want to talk about him. He looks a little bit like Sean Mannion back in the day. And then when we cut to Sunday, I'm calling the Apple Cup, which is, to me, it's really cool because it's Washington. They're a real contender to make the playoff. Demond Williams, I think, is the hardest guy to defend in the country at quarterback. He's got some Jalen Hurts to him, if you will. And then here's Washington State. They hung on to the Pac-12. Now it's rebuilt. Kirby Moore is their new coach, the brother of Kellen Moore, the coach of the Saints. So a lot of ties there. I know he was with the Eagles, so I can't wait for that one on a Sunday holiday weekend. So my cup is full, man. I can't wait to get the game.
Cup runneth over at this point in time. And, of course, Big Ten, SEC, Big Ten. Those are the 2 monsters, so can't wait to see you. Speaking of the Big Ten, I want to talk about Penn State. You know, year 1 expectations, Matt Campbell, a bunch of Iowa State transfers. I understand. I could see the path to success. What's realistic in your mind, year 1, Matt Campbell with Penn State?
Well, Cignetti kind of adjusted the path for success for every first-year head coach that brings players from the previous institution, right, with JMU and what they did going to the playoff in his first year. The schedules are kind of similar. You know, like Cignetti, they weren't even down in a game, I don't think, until they went to the shoe in Columbus. And, you know, I think in the first half, there's a stat like that kind of floating around. I don't know if it's going to be that dominant, but after being there, again, I go back to that word convicted. Matt Campbell knows how to win, and he's done it his way. You get to a bigger stage, a bigger place, there's maybe more opinions, right? There definitely is, right? Whether it's a bigger stadium, just a bigger fan base, everything's just a little bit bigger. So can you stay convicted? He and I got a chance to spend a bunch of time together last week, and he is, and they are. Okay, why can they take a run this year? Number one, I think in the trenches, on the offensive line, they're going to be just fine. At tight end, they're going to be just fine. You look at Taylor Mauser, their offensive coordinator, the way they run the football, the way they ran the football at Iowa State, it's going to be a part of this thing. And then the shots downfield. I think the Penn State receiving core, it's probably the most explosive I've seen in the last 5 years. They just haven't had a dude be that guy. There's been a lot of expectations or hype or hope. Never really panned out in the passing game outside of, you know, Tyler Warren as a tight end. So I think they'll be just fine there. Running back, they lose 2, you know, career-leading rushers in the history of Penn State football, but they'll be able to move the football. Defensively, they're going to be good. The question is, like, how deep are they? And that's really the question once you get beyond the top 3 teams, if you will, in the Big Ten of Ohio State, Oregon, and Indiana in any order. They've got competitive depth at every position. I don't know what Penn State has. I do know they also have a quarterback who's the winningest quarterback currently now and most experienced guy in all of college football. He's tough as all get out. He's going to fit right in with that fan base. So I expect them to make noise. We're going to find out how much when they host USC in a whiteout and then go to Ann Arbor to play Michigan the very next weekend. Those 2 games in the middle of their season are going to be the most challenging. But that's the thing in the Big Ten. You look up and down the schedule, nobody's a layup. Everybody's gotten better. Everybody's paying $20 to $40 million for a roster. So they've got the best talent. You said SEC, Big Ten. It is a lot of that throughout the league. So it won't be easy for Matt Campbell, but I think throughout the season, they'll be one of the most improved teams in the entire country. They can start fast. They can steal one of those 2 games I just referenced. They're going to be coming to Seattle in November with the playoff berth on the line. And can you imagine that? That would just be awesome for the Penn State fan base.
You mentioned right there, Big Ten, SEC. I kind of want to dive into the idea of anyone else. Like, I think in the last 20 years, it's been 17 champions that have been from those 2 conferences. I think the only time you're seeing like Clemson, Florida State. Is there anyone in your eyes that can make noise outside of those two conferences? And is it just at this point in college football, you're either from the Big Ten, you're from the SEC, or you wish you were?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to come on your show and not talk about my Pitt Panthers. Okay?
There it
Love
is.
them. Love Pitt, and always will. I held the Pitt all day long, every day. I don't think it's just those two teams. I think that is like a take, and I think that's a very disrespectful take. When I watch what Arizona State has done with Kenny Dillingham, when I look at Miami, right? We can't argue what Mario Cristobal did, what we hope maybe Dabo can do. There's clearly intrigue in other leagues, Texas Tech being the one that's really shifted the paradigm in the Big 12. So no, I don't think that's the case, which is why I'm huge on the expansion of 24. And here's why. Let's just say they come to me or they come to a Pitt donor. Let's just take my team as an example. And they say, hey, we got a quarterback. It's Dante Moore. We can go get a guy like that. But we're going to need $3.5 million. Cool. Here you go. And if I was able to give that to them, or Larry Fitzgerald was able to give that to them, and we did that 4 years in a row, and he did that 4 years in a row, and we knew after 1 or 2 losses, they had no shot at the playoff. At some point, to me, the donors are saying, or those that are supporting the salary cap, if you will, or even the rev share, the way you're allocating your money, you're saying, if we don't have a chance, let's give it to basketball. Or as a donor, why don't I just give it to a public school system, quite honestly. And I think that if we start taking away hope from some of these other leagues, I think we're going to see a fall off. So every time I hear the argument, college football has never been better, viewership's at an all-time high, I say, yeah, sure. But have you been to, I'll just say some of my old schools I used to cover, Arizona, Cal, Stanford, like it isn't that. Like Pitt, like it isn't, everybody isn't swimming in money. So I want to open it up so every school feels like they got hope, because once you get into the playoff, as we all know, anything can happen, right? We saw that Ohio State make that run 2 years ago. Anything could happen. Nobody thought that was going to happen when they put it on Tennessee and the SEC in a way they went on their run. Nobody thought that Indiana would do what they have done. So I hope that it expands in that regard. I don't want to see it be a breakaway. I don't think anybody does. When I talk to, people in administrative roles or athletic directors, nobody wants to see that. But is there a separation? For sure. Is it these two leagues and everybody else? No way. And I hope I never go there in that regard.
Talking some ball with Yogi Roth, a man who knows a thing or two when it comes to Sean Mannion and Jalen Hurts. So shifting gears here, Yogi, over to the Eagles. Last one. If there's an Eagles fan out there, and there are plenty of them listening right now, that needs to be sold on Sean Mannion and Jalen Hurts, the pairing, what would you say to them? What are some of the strengths that you think Sean Mannion brings to the table? And, of course, Jalen Hurts, the resume that he can use and build off of. Where do you go with that?
Well, there's a trend in all of coaching right now, which is like young, smart, sharp, what have you, especially on offense, right? Whether that's like the McVay world that began a decade ago, whether that's David Blau right now, or whether that's you can go to Denver, same deal, and here we are sitting in Philadelphia. And I love it because all these quarterbacks that I've known since they were 16. So it's great from an XO standpoint, and just watching their careers just become potential rocket ships. Why can Sean Mannion and Jalen Hurts work? Number one, the intensity that those two operate with, from at least my purview, and I haven't been to the Eagles facility, and I'm not sitting in a meeting, but I've known Sean Mannion. He's the only 3-time captain in the history of Oregon State. He's a guy who found his way, as a coach's son, to coaching in the NFL, and then here he gets this opportunity because of the tree that he comes from. Go back to that same word I referenced, conviction. Sean has elite conviction of what he wants to operate, and of course it's coming from the top of what they want this offense to look like. And then you go to the other side, and you watch Jalen Hurts. Look out. I mean, his focus is as good as anybody's as I've ever seen in the craft. He was the same way when I met him at 15, 16, 20, NFL draft prep, you name it. He's kind of had that approach. So that's why I think they'll work. I think they take it that serious, but also there's a quarterback mentality to me that has really stood out.
And then I guess real quick, because I know you got to skedaddle here and you got to get moving, for Sean Mannion, the way he interprets the game, the way he takes in information, play calling is a big thing for a lot of people around here. How do you think he's going to be able to pass that test at the NFL level?
That's going to be a question that I think time will only tell. I think he's always going to have a great plan. To me, the flow of a game from a play caller is the most important and critical element that I think experience provides. So I'm sure they've had a ton of play it, call it live periods throughout OTAs, throughout training camp. Obviously, they've got their preseason games. That's a huge part of this whole thing, especially when you get to situations. That's why veteran coordinators, to me, there's just so many at-bats in that regard. So we'll see. We'll also see if they struggle. I'm a former wideout. I know if the offense isn't moving, that room can get a little dicey. So managing all of those things for the first time is just naturally going to be a challenge for him in his first year. I'm looking forward to watching it. Definitely rooting for him the entire time.
Looking forward to watching you, Yogi. Can't thank you enough for a couple minutes today, man. Continued success. Congratulations on another year. Best, as far as I'm concerned, covering the game of college football. Looking forward to seeing you on Saturdays.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for having me, fellas.
You the man.
That was awesome.
Yeah, man.
Always good to chop up some ball there. That was the one thing I got. So my Penn State fans, I know, be thrilled to get a little nugget there about the success. But when we got the show, my best friend growing up, like right down the street, his dad texted me, said, "Please, just give me some college football in there." There's an appetite for it, especially with it starting on Saturday. Like we got noon Saturday. I'll be tapped in. TCU, UNC. I can't wait.
I think the playoffs have raised it up another level. Right, I think that has changed a lot in people's minds, especially the attention down the stretch at the end of the season. It just raises it up a whole different stage. But for me, I love college football. I always have. I grew up as a Notre Dame fan, believe it or not. But I was, I was in like 10, 11, 12. When you were in Scranton, Pennsylvania, you picked Penn State or Notre Dame. That was it. Those are your two teams. Yogi would tell you that he ended up at Pitt, but still, everybody was either Notre Dame or Penn State, and a couple friends of mine were Penn State guys. I was not. I was a Rocket Ismail fan. I was a Jerome Bettis, a Lou Holtz. Go down the list, man. Loved me some Notre Dame football. Slowly went away. I'm just a fan of the game. I love college football. And, for a lot had to do with the sports wagering side of things. I'm not going to here to bury that. But it's just different than the NFL. These are guys that we're learning about, kids that are coming up, and I like that, man. New names, fresh, and, of course, the rivalries. You got to love that. But there's nothing better than college football.
I appreciate him also not being enjoy it. Soak it on in. I was going to let you have the moment
That's
there.
all right. That's all right. No, look.
I enjoy him not being a breakaway guy.
I want to nerd out more. I told you this the other day. We need to nerd out more because that's what we are. We're sportsmen. We're two
nerds and a meathead, according to you.
We love us some sports, and it's just like, hey, man, instead of trying to find that one topic where we can, no, let's open it up. Let's have a conversation. Like, yeah, these games aren't, I'm not going to sit here and try to sell you on USC and Sacramento State. I'm not going to, but It's here. And we B and C from the month of March until July about, oh, man, not having football. And now it's here. Like, I don't want you picking and choosing here. No. We have football.
He is B and C.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a B and C-er.
Yeah,
that's
we
fine.
all are. That's
Hey,
why we work. This is the job. This is what the show is. You want a description of what the show is? It's 3 B and C'ers B and C.
Hey, the mission statement.
Yeah.
Write it down.
I'm writing it down right there. Send that one off to the program director.
That's great. Yogi is really good, and it's all built on relationships that he has had over the years. He has been involved with everything possible. He was just in Canton. He played with Larry Fitzgerald out in Pitt, so he was there for the induction. He got involved with the Elite 11, and that's why you might be wondering how he knows all these guys at 16. The Elite 11 is essentially the best quarterbacks in high school, and they all go to this one camp. And I think Trent Dilfer took it over. I don't know if Trent Dilfer started it. I forget. Forgive me on that, but he got involved early. So, like, Jameis Winston, he knew Jameis Winston before Jameis Winston was Jameis Winston. Like, he'll tell you a story. And it's
I
like,
love some old
I knew.
Jameis Winston stories.
And Jameis Winston, for my money at Florida State when he won the national championship, was one of the greatest quarterbacks at that. He was incredible to watch.
One of only 3 champions that are not from the SEC or the Big Ten over the last 20 years. That Florida State team, 2 Clemson teams.
And that Auburn team was tough. That was a great national championship run by Jameis. But so he knows all these guys, keeps in contact, does the work. And, like I said, hand in the dirt with all of these coaches, the access that he has because of his relationships. Like Signetti had him in the office. There's videos. He's a tremendous follow. And hopefully we can talk ball with him more throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, if I had the opportunity, like where we weren't just, if we were just chopping it up off air, I'd love to know Signetti sitting down across from him, Dan Lanning sitting across from him. They're just intense guys. They respect him as a football guy. It's a little different from him and maybe anyone else going in there.
I can't wait. And this is something that's never been said before.
Oh?
To see, never said before. to see if Indiana can do it again. Nobody's think about what Indiana football was.
I'll stop you right there. I'm excited to watch Indiana football this year.
Antoine Randall L. before last year is the only thing I could ever tell you about Indiana Hoosier football.
Nate Sudfeld.
There you go.
Right?
Hey,
Nice.
maybe.
Right?
Feel facts.
Feel
sure.
facts. Feel facts.
That was the only thing I could give you about Indiana football before last season. And then what do we talk about with the Knicks? I always bring it up, the chip on the shoulder. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that they could repeat it. I'm not.
Give me the ding right there.
Yeah, nice pull by you. But
Come on.
what Signetti does, he'll tell you, all he does is win. He was able to build up a program everywhere he's been. And no one has given him a shadow of a doubt of having the same success this year. They lost Mendoza. I wanted to ask Yogi that, but he was up against it. It is what it is. You are now doubting a team that won it all. And these are the little things that can get you that victory in November, and then who knows what happens come playoff time.
You also heard Yogi preach of patience right there. Speaking our language with the Eagles offense.
Your language.
Yeah.
Don't throw us into the Royal Hour.
I like that his answer was, hey, look, we don't know. Time will tell, because that's how you have to answer it. And for anybody that's trying to paint doom and gloom, we're all going to find out. We're all going to find out.
Are you taking a shot at the morning crew?
Well, I just don't understand how you could sound the alarms. You can't sound the alarms because of training camp notebooks, as Bill Colarulo would say.
All right.
Did I get off of that? I took a shot, but then I put it back on Bill's plate. Hey, Bill's the one that called them out.
What you said, you threw something at someone, and then you turned around, and then when that person turned around and hit them, Bill was standing right there to get it back.
Smart man.
Yeah. That's not a bad strategy.
He said it.
Yeah, I'm more than happy for Bill to be the one that ends up in the fray here.
I love the interaction between the shows.
I'm telling you, this John and Bill not eating lunch together is going to be a problem. They were all buddy-buddy. You know, Bill didn't even stop and say hello to us when we filled in for John. Now that John's up there, they're not getting this time
He
to
said it.
be
He goes,
tight.
I'll never see you again.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Now they're going to start fighting. Speaking of fighting, there was a fight at the end of that Miami Union game. I can't wait to get Ryan Richter's thoughts on that.
Let's go, Coach.
I love what he said about the Sullivan brothers after that one. We're talking to the interim head coach of the Philadelphia Union coming up next. Ryan Richter. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. This is Brace and Dunn, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phils finish out in Seattle on a high note. I'm Connor Thomas. The Phillies bounced back in Seattle yesterday, shutting out the Mariners 6-0 in the series finale, and it was their only win of the series, but it's good to have that with an off day coming today. Jesus Luzardo, a big part of that W. 7 innings of one-hit ball. It's about as good as we've seen him all year. He's been pretty darn good all year long. He is 200th strikeout yesterday in that game, second straight year with the Phillies, and second straight year doing that. Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber both went deep in the game as well. For Schwarber, it was his 40th homer of the year. He's the first player at the major league level to reach that milestone this season. They have the day off today before starting a series with the Angels tomorrow night. Eagles wrapped up training camp yesterday. Their preseason's getting ready to come to a close. Jalen Hurts talked about his review of training camp now that it's over.
I feel like it was a good camp, taking in the coaching, taking in the time and the growth that comes with a camp. I feel like Sean has been great, really great camp to learn from. So, yeah, I feel like I'm in a good spot.
We're not quite to the start of the regular season yet. They have their final preseason game tomorrow night at 8 p.m. against the Bengals, and the Union face Red Bull New York on Saturday. Guy who knows a lot about that, well, interim head coach Ryan Richter of the Union joins us coming up next to talk about their unbeaten streak that they're on right now and how the team looks as we head into a big part of their season. This update is brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then you find a deal where you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. That's Straight Talk Wireless on Verizon's 5G network. Find it exclusively at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. I'm Connor Thomas for The Fanatic.
Yeah, baby.
that you were looking for?
It's a big country weekend. Chris Stapleton tomorrow night. Zach Brown at the Man on Saturday.
Are you going to be at both of them?
There is potential for me to be making an appearance on Friday at Chris Stapleton. I will absolutely be front and center, dare I say, for all things Zach Brown.
All right, fair enough. Connor, either of them?
I am in the midst of moving right now, and I also have some plans this weekend with a little bit of footy, too.
You, with the moving thing, is right now becoming the Colarulo, I got my kids.
I have like a
you have been
one-door
moving.
Mustang. I can't move all this stuff all at once.
I know. It's difficult to move.
You have been moving for like literally 3 weeks now.
I'm just one man.
That's fine.
God forbid I focus on the show.
With a Mustang.
Yeah, with the Mustang.
One man with a Mustang. With the power of however many horses.
I don't know what.
How many horses you got in that thing?
More than one. I couldn't tell you.
You don't know?
I couldn't
Oh, you're
tell
not a car guy.
Nah.
You just have that car.
I just have one.
All right.
It looks nice.
It does. It's if you're driving a Mustang or Camaro, normally as a Camaro, as a long time ago Camaro owner, like you got to know the horses. Got to know the horsepower.
Do you think Ryan Richter does the horsepower of the car that he drives?
I just know his union squad has a ton of horsepower right now.
A lot of horsepower right now.
Oh, yeah.
Coming out of the World Cup break, have yet to lose in Major League Soccer play. The interim head coach of your Philadelphia Union, Ryan Richter, joins us right now. Ryan, what are you driving nowadays?
I'm a Subaru, baby. I'm representing Subaru Park, and I'm driving that thing all over Philadelphia.
That's a great call by you right there.
I can't tell you how many horses are right
Well played, Ryan. Well played, Coach. Gotta love it.
It's been a great run for you guys coming out of the World Cup break. Shane Williams and I on the podcast kicking around some old stories about you, showing your LaSalle highlights back in the day to him. He said that was his first memory of you, that showing the LaSalle highlights from your college career with the Explorers. Can you give me a little dirt on what it was like to roommate with Shane Williams back in the day in Union Camp?
No, that's my guy. He's Shay's awesome. He's doing great work in a lot of different things now. Just happy to see him being successful. But yeah, some of the stories I don't think I can share over over this call. That's for another day.
Nice.
All right, well, we'll get you at some point. You can hop in the Subaru. We'll meet you out for a drink after maybe what has been one of the most impressive runs coming out of the World Cup break in all of MLS play right now. For you, how surreal has it been to step into this spot and to watch and, just be a driving force of this team, finding its rhythm, and now we're talking about potential postseason play?
Yeah, it's been really positive, of course, with the results. But we don't have time to kind of reflect on the big picture yet. We're going game to game, and as soon as we're done one, we're preparing for the next, and that's the case right now. Just preparing for the Red Bull game, trying to keep the guys in the right headspace where they're at, and hopefully put together another good performance.
Ryan, let's talk about Kevin Sullivan. 16 years old, and he's an absolute monster. He is a problem out there. 6 goal contributions in the last 4 games, a true difference maker. Having the opportunity to work with him over the past few seasons and seeing the growth, are you surprised to see the impact that he's having? And what else does he have in store? I love to get into the ceiling of Kevin Sullivan, but he's 16, so what are the fair expectations with that?
Yeah, I've been lucky enough. Kevin was on the first team that I coached when I started working for the Union, and he was 8 years old at the time. So I've known him and the family for a long time, and to see the way that he's grown up and the person and player that he's turned into now that he's 16 years old, he's still a kid, but he's doing amazing. It's you always knew he could do it. Did you think he could be this? Just electric at the MLS level at the age he's at, he has it in him, but to do it consistently the way that he's done, it's fun to watch. It's exciting for the fans, and it makes the team better, and he's gaining the respect of his opponents, his teammates, around the league. He's making a name for himself, and all the hype that's around him. His superpower is the mentality he has to approach every single day to get better. He's got the perfect combination of the winning mentality and the growth mindset. And, I don't want to put any limit on how far he can go. My job now is more to keep his feet on the ground and keep him focused on the day-to-day and keep getting better and performing in the way that he's been doing.
Yeah, and you know what, Ryan, as far as like with Cavan, as a diehard Philadelphia Union fan supporter, I know Ray is as well. There's a lot of us here at this station. We're the flagship station for the Philadelphia Union. Like, there's little things, and we know we got to constantly fight for the attention. But seeing Cavan and, of course, his performance on the field is one thing. But then to have his brother get, a little bit of a cheap shot against him and to have his back, I'm telling you, I thought Philadelphia fans appreciated that, number one, and it caught a lot of attention. So I thought that spoke to me about who Cavan truly really is when it comes down to it. Of course, he's going to stick up for his brother, but, man, he had his back, and you got to love to see that.
Yeah, and he's not afraid. He's not afraid. And that whole situation, it's the way Quinn handled it, where he throws the guy to the ground. When someone steps over you like this, that's how you handle that situation. So I had no problem with it. I was proud to see Cav, not just his brother, but his teammates stand up for him the way that he did and not cross the line and take it too far, but also to stand up in that moment and not be afraid. It's cool. He's a tough kid. He's a tough kid. He's not afraid of anything. He's not afraid of any opponent. He's not afraid of the attention that is around him. He's not afraid of any moment that he steps into. Like, he's up for it.
And this group is playing with a certain confidence right now. You mentioned, we talked specifically about Cavan, but I'll go into another young player, Neil Pierre. This guy, for people that have not yet seen or not yet experienced what's it like to watch him play, I think the Apple TV broadcast on Saturday, they couldn't get enough of watching him. And he's really stepped into a big role for this team. How encouraged have you been with the youth of this team and the way they've been able to step up, and also from what you've seen specifically from Neil Pierre?
Yeah, Neil's been excellent. He's been fantastic. And he stands out to anyone once you come to the game because he's 6'7". You don't see that very often on a soccer field. But it's more than just the height and the physicality that he brings. It's the high soccer IQ and the way that he reads the game and the quality that he has on the ball. He has a really high level in him. And another guy that you know that these guys can do it and you trust that they can, but you have to actually see it to see what level they can actually reach. And for all the young guys that are playing right now, it's they're not playing because they're young. They're playing because they help the team win, and they're great players. That's why they're getting themselves in the team, and they're making the team better. So for me as a coach, it makes the decision easy of if they should play because they're performing every week. And it's part of what the club philosophy is we want to bring young players through, but they have to be good enough. They have to be good enough because our main job is to win games, and all these guys are helping us win games right now.
You're certainly doing. Again, getting yourself closer into that playoff picture. I know the focus is on New York this weekend. Not a chance to see you guys until coming up the following weekend in terms of being at home. But going into that matchup, how do you keep the 2 feet on the ground for this group right now, given the way you guys run and given the way the conversation's starting to change around you guys post-World Cup break?
Yeah, I mean, the mentality is everything for us. We played them a month ago and put together a great performance at home, but it was a tough game, and we expect the same when we go into New York on Saturday. Another tough game, but as long as we approach it with the right mentality, fight for everything, be really hard to play against, and then do the exciting things that we do on the ball, I mean, we can put together another good performance. But, focusing on all the little things, playing like a team, and keep this positive momentum that we have to keep that rolling.
Absolutely. We're hoping you do. Coming up this weekend, you got New York Red Bulls, and then we'll try and make it on down there in September. I want to get back down there. That game you mentioned a month ago, Sean and I had a wonderful time. I know you don't get caught up in the whole cruise that was going down the Delaware River, but we certainly enjoyed that cruise going down the Delaware.
Great game, too.
Yeah, I got to get on that boat one time.
Yeah, we'll find a way to get you on out there.
There you go.
I don't know how we make it happen for you, but we'll make sure that we get a chance to catch up with you coming up as you guys making the push. It's been tremendous to watch you guys since the World Cup break, and we appreciate you taking some time to join us today.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. Really appreciate it.
Ryan Richter, the interim head coach of your Philadelphia Union, joining us here. And, yeah, they're rolling right now. We need another one. I'm trying to push for it. I've been doing the work over there a little bit, doing the podcast with Shane. And I'm trying to push for another booze cruise down the Delaware. Because that was the week. That was also the week it was the two of us here on the show. That Thursday show was following the day before LeBron James, 2 days before LeBron James signed.
Mm-hmm.
Life hasn't been the same since the Union booze cruise.
No.
We got to get Connor on the cruise, too.
Are you worried because it feels like the turning point maybe, if it was right before LeBron signed, would we reverse the effects? We've had things pretty good since then.
That's a good point.
I don't want to send us back.
However, it's a point against the booze cruise, which I'm never against.
Yeah, cut that. I'm in on the boat trip.
All right.
Let me drive the
Coach
boat.
is a stud. He's got them
He
believing right now. Really good at what he does. And, of course, been with the team for a long time, with the franchise for a long time. As you heard, Cavan is 16. He said he worked with him 8.
Yeah.
And Cavan is the brightest star in U.S. soccer right now.
Yeah.
Bar none. Bar none. He is the topic of conversation.
Stop a conversation with Coach. A couple questions in there. And
He is a difference maker.
He is.
At 16.
I'm a Neil Pierre guy. I want a jersey badly. The guy's 6'7", playing soccer. It's awesome. Yeah, I know. Jokes write themselves there.
Yep.
Coming up, we got the jokes that were written in the YouTube chat. YouTube chat recap coming your way up next. Plus, I want to get like a final verdict on where we started today. I know we're never going to agree. I know it's going to be a fight to the death between Connor and I on this one forever, but I'd love to at least get a final verdict on some of the text and voice memos we got on the Davis Honda text line on the most pressure in the Sixers organization this season. That's coming up next year on Brace and Dunne. But I want to tell you, down there in South Philadelphia at the Stadium District, you're going down there maybe to catch a game, or maybe you want somewhere to watch the game. Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. When it comes to catching the game, there is no better place to be. Immerse yourself in the center of the action with game day bites at Sports and Social. I tell you all the time about the burger down there. The 360 views at Center Bar. I caught a Birds game down there at one point. It was the energy in there was electric. FanDuel Sportsbook, wall-to-wall screens. The energy, like I just said, is electric for a watch party. There's so much more for you down there. It's game day gone live. Make it a total experience with over 2,000 of Phillies' hottest slots, over 130 table games, and a live poker room. If you're hungry, you got so many options. The new era flavor they've got going on right now at Luck Food by Jet Tila has a fresh East meets West menu curated by the Iron Chef himself. Philly favorites are back at the all-new 10th Street Market, featuring expanded menu at Lorenzo & Sons Pizza, the iconic flavors at Termini Brothers Bakery, and Gino's Steaks. Plus, unwind at the brand-new Library Bar with handcrafted cocktails and bites. Only Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for details. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Just brace. No Dunne. Nobody gives a, you know what?
Don't be going all Bill Colarulo on me, all right?
Should I intentionally get on Wine of the Week? No, I'm kidding. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunne. Connor Thomas.
When is that? Is that tomorrow? I got to tune in for this.
Yeah,
it is.
Did they give us a time?
I'm not sure.
Ask the producer.
Let me text Johnny Morris.
Which day is it? It's up in the air. God bless them.
Sorry.
I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it.
Speaking of new shows, this is a new show. And let's shout out what we just received on the old Bird app.
Go ahead.
Our good friend Richard tweeting in. As much as I love Unfiltered, I think over time, Ray and Sean will overtake Unfiltered as the #1 show, in my opinion, on 97.5. Especially if Sean keeps doing segments like he did about Connor's bed.
Yes.
Hashtag 2 nerds and a meathead.
That's what I'm talking about.
Phil's gone wild.
First of all, you are the man. Appreciate the comment. But he's right in the sense of, like, we continue to have some fun. Be a little different. Have a little something.
Yeah, our playbook for the 1 o'clock hour is a little different than when,
as the great Harry Donahue once said, have a little jizz on the ball, right?
It's a golf term, right?
It's a golf term. Rest in peace, Harry. True legend in the game.
Harry Mays was like, I play a lot of golf.
I don't think that's a golf term there.
I think that's a golf term.
Jim, I don't know.
But you know what? It's cool because, and we're going to try new things. Some are going to hit, some aren't. But I promise you this, for the 4 hours, you're going to get a lot of juice, a lot of energy, a lot of fun, and the right information. Now, with that being said, Yogi, perfect example. Coach Richter, perfect example. Like, that's us.
We're different.
We're going to be different.
We're two different guys. That's definitely a word you would use to describe the two of us. Connor, also different.
Yes. And Connor's a huge piece of this puzzle, as I often say.
Yeah. I was going to give Connor credit for being normal, but then I thought about the last 4 years in which I've worked with Connor.
No. I'm like, if you look at me from far away, I look normal, but then you get closer up and you go weirdo.
Yeah, for sure.
And today,
you can say that about all three of us.
And
That's true.
Today's show, bringing up the 1 o'clock hour with the 2 interviews, which I thought were great. Everything podcasted at 975thefanatic.com. Shout out to everybody behind the scenes, Dutz, holding it down with the clips, all that. But the start of the show was another perfect example of who we are. Because there's going to be some days where Connor's got better points than you, Ray, and me. And there's going to be days where you have better points than me and Connor. And that's, like, that discussion to start the show, we did legit 30 minutes on the Sixers out of nowhere. But that was a great discussion of, hey, man, I might not have the right take on this one, but this is how I'm feeling. And I don't know who the hell won that argument, to be honest.
81% Embiid. That one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because Twitter, 100%.
And the voice memo is 100% with me. That guy on Twitter that said, what the hell is Connor talking about?
Locally, you knew darn well that Embiid's going to win that.
Here's what I've done.
You know damn well because it's the truth.
No. Slow down. Here's what I've done. I've Men in Black, done the flasher thing. I've immediately wiped my brain of whatever the Sixers were before LeBron James signed here. Okay. This is a brand new basketball team. The past 25 years, throw them out the window. Anyone who's saying Embiid has the most pressure is not moving on from what this team used to be. They are not the same basketball team today as what we saw when they walked off the court against the Knicks last year.
And I agree with that. And I said it, and it's a terrible thing to say on Sports Talk Radio because, who the hell wants to hear time will tell. But that's the thing for me. It's like I can't sit here and not say Joel Embiid because I haven't seen LeBron James. Like, yeah, I get it. I know the folklore following him, the mystique, all the pressure.
His name is LeBron James.
But man, JoJo gets a championship, and there's going to be a lot of salty people on the timeline.
Yeah, it's a fair point. We've only seen 23 professional seasons of LeBron James, so how could we possibly make that determination?
Right, that he's a championship-level player whose legacy is not in doubt at all?
Point Ray.
You just don't like it because I came after you.
Conversation is done.
This judge is not impartial.
His name is LeBron James.
Let's hit the YouTube chat recap.
It's time for the YouTube chat recap.
How about filling us in?
I can't block. Text us at 610-632-0975. Watch us live on YouTube every single weekday.
Let me tell you something else, man.
It's the Brace and Dunne YouTube chat recap.
Hit me.
I don't agree with Connor much, but when I do, I choose Dos Equis from Dawood.
Dawood's got to drink when he realizes he agrees with you. He's got to get his mind right.
Hey, that's one in my camp, though.
I don't know.
We're 1-0 on the YouTube chat recap.
I don't know
Team
if you're
LeBron
1-0.
pressure.
I think he's saying he's drinking because he's upset he agrees with you.
He agrees with me. I don't care if you're upset about it.
Go ahead. What do we
Connor
got?
looks like a pizza delivery guy that's saving to buy a certified pre-owned VW Jetta convertible.
You do look
from
like
Tommy John.
a pizza delivery guy with that shirt. Hey, man. Got a joint, man? Be a lot cooler if you did, man.
You're so right.
It does.
I never thought of him as a pizza delivery guy until this exact moment. And I'm a pizza delivery guy by trade.
Domino's.
When the hourglass runs out on me, that's probably where I'm going.
Who'd you deliver for?
I delivered for Rossi's up in Royersford, then I delivered for Cappy's in Cape May.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Cape May?
Yeah.
Did you live down there?
Yeah, I lived down the shore. I lived in Wildwood and did the Cape May. Yeah, that was
heaven.
It's wonderful. Dude, working down the shore, that was like the greatest blessing of my life. I understand I'm on Sports Talk Radio right now in Philly. But,
Yeah.
But working down the shore, my buddy and I said if we could just stop time, because I worked with my friend who I mentioned earlier, his dad won college football. We said we could stop time and just like go back and do one more summer.
Heard.
Yeah. Like I would make hoagies.
Hey, man.
I'd be making salads.
Mike Gill does it right. Like, we understand.
I'm be delivering knuckle sandwiches. That's the only thing I'm delivering. If this YouTube chat keeps it up, I gotta keep an eye on y'all.
All right, what do we got?
At least nothing on my hairline yet.
Ray has lent that sweatshirt to his dates so frequently that the neck area has become stretched from If Bayless.
They don't miss a thing on the YouTube chat because he is right. That is a little stretch to the neck.
Yeah, it is a little stretch to the neck. I like the sweatshirt. I like the, I like the logo.
It's a nice
I keep
sweatshirt.
wearing it.
Yeah,
I work in radio, people.
That's a real sweatshirt.
Yeah, and a loose sweatshirt's better than a tight sweatshirt.
No.
You can't have them tight.
Well, he had a tight sweatshirt
If
the
that
other day.
Spectrum sweatshirt and this sweatshirt just met in the middle, I would have a well-fitting sweatshirt. Unfortunately, I just don't.
You know they make sizes, right? You
No.
can check the tag and it'll tell you.
Never mind. Go ahead. What's next?
Speaking of exploding onto many scenes, anything on tap for the weekend, Ray? From Dawood.
Oh, wow. Yeah, what do you got cooking? You heading back down the shore again?
Head back down the shore.
All right. Big country weekend for your boy over here.
I'll be down.
Connor, what do you got cooking? You moving still? Yep.
We talked about this like 5 minutes ago. I'm moving.
Connor, what are your Thanksgiving plans?
I'm moving.
I didn't really get around to it.
You guys gonna watch the Super Bowl? I'm moving. Tell me about it.
Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, you watching the Sixers? No, I'm moving.
You got any Memorial Day weekend plans, Connor? Nah, sorry.
The move's over on Monday. I promise.
All right.
I'm
Sure.
cleaning the old spot, so that's technically still moving.
Anything more in the YouTube chat recap?
That shirt should be hanging in a shed infested with moths. From Mopar.
It's got a reason, though.
Mopar. It's Mopar every day.
Yeah, Mopar hates that shirt.
Sorry that you don't like the Phillies winning? Okay, cool.
That's a good spin zone by you.
It better amount to something. That's all I know.
It hasn't for the last 4 years.
It already has. Check August. See what happens since I started wearing this. Have you not liked August?
I didn't like parts of it while you were wearing it.
Yeah, well, I can't do
All
miracles
right, it's
here.
Unfiltered time. He's Sean Brace. I'm Ray Dunn. That's Connor Thomas. We'll be back on your radios 10 a.m. Coming up, Billy C. Unfiltered. Stay tuned.
Homer. They've got the day off today before starting a series with the Angels tomorrow night. The Eagles